Finally, I have everything that I need. Thanks to that mad poet, I have the Necronomicon and a destination, finally, to locate the forgotten city of Neruzavin. This journey will be a long one, surely across land and seas both. But after all the effort that has been put forth, after everything I have attempted over the last few years, this is the victory lap. I will be denied no longer. The black stars beckon, and I will find them. I am Count Hasserton Lowls the Fourth, and when I am done here, no academic throughout the inner seas will forget this name. Somewhere, deep within these sands, I will build history.
Since we took on the refugees from the tribute barge off the coast of Razmoran, the situation on the Sullen Starling, this tiny little vessel that we've chartered for passage down the same-named Sullen River, it's been cramped. Cramped, unpleasant, and difficult. Even at night, as everyone retires looking for space, even amongst the floorboards, they can find sheltered from the elements to take their evening's rest. There was really no room anywhere save for the bow of the deck itself for the group of you to find to conduct your nightly rituals. A new passphrase in hand, another riddle solved. You sought, led as always by Cammy, the journey to the Dreamlands.
Oh,
and
yeah, how'd that go?
As you
I think it went well.
conducted your ritual, as you had many times before, a ritual that had some success and some challenges. You reached the end, held the tiny metal staircase, this intricate focus of the occult magic in your hands, and instead of opening a passage, felt yourself simply falling. You know that feeling when you're right on the edge of sleep? Not quite there. Almost
kick out and wake yourself up
through a void, feeling like you're off your equilibrium, like your balance is failing you.
Yeah.
Not quite asleep and certainly not entirely awake. You see the world whirl away, and you feel that strange vertigo for a moment. This isn't how it normally goes. This isn't what's supposed to happen. But it's almost difficult, even in only moments, to remember how it's supposed to feel, what it's supposed to be. You're on that border between waking and dreams. And it's impossible to focus or recall or think back how things went wrong or how things should be. And before long, you are simply asleep. As if any other night. The world, the ritual, and your friends left behind you. And as you rest, hopefully frolicking, perhaps through whatever pleasant dreams Cammy has when she just, sleeps normally outside of the hell world that you found yourself in most nights that you can remember, you are jolted awake by a smack on the side of your face. Very abrupt, very unpleasant. The large green hand of MD just smacking the side of your face. And as you immediately,
like palming her entire head,
and abruptly feel yourself jerk back to wakefulness, so too Do you feel that sense of vertigo again? Almost falling. That border between wake and sleep. Before you find yourself in bright, radiant sunlight.
I gotta go. I can't. Can we switch place? Can we switch place?
During the break, we just.
Oh, that was too good.
Oh my gosh.
I was having a little brother.
Woo. I saw you over here like jittering and
I
getting
was
all
so
into
into it.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
You glance over the rail of the barge and see in the water a squid with a coin. Surely that can mean nothing but good things, right?
It's a good
A
omen.
villain point.
Oh, it's a bad omen.
From insane to 21. Let me
Oh
write
my
that on my
gosh.
list. You awake in the bright sunlight. The eve of morning, seemingly long since past. Gentle breeze and warm wood under your face. As you look around and find yourself on the deck of the Selwyn Starling once more. In fact, this is a feeling shared by all of you. Reese as well. As you open your eyes, finding yourselves just laying strewn across the deck of the barge. There are gasps of shock from some of the crewmates around. Before long, one of them calls out to Captain Freeling, who turns back from the helm to see what this commotion is. Hi! That lot's alive after all.
Are we still injured?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
What?
You would see, Cammy, as you look around the group, bright red flesh, in some places even darkened, blackened by frostbite. Extremely severe across all of your companions, Reese included, who pulls herself up, hand on her head, like she's getting up from the worst hangover ever. Well, good to know you lot are still alive then, I suppose.
What happened?
Something went wrong that time. Just like actively rolling and just holding myself where all these injuries are, because that sucks. That's not frostbite on like a finger. That's frostbite.
That's
like,
full body frostbite
everywhere.
on everyone.
Do I have? Am I?
You are fine. You are perfectly
God,
fine.
especially coming right back into like a warm, sunny
Into
morning.
a warm, and it is
God.
a fair ways into the morning. Looks like it's not long before noon. The sun overhead, nearly at its zenith, beaming down on the deck here as you make your way still down the Rasmussen coast.
I will actually like tense up, and you'll start seeing steam like coming off my body as I'll activate Cantorian Rejuvenation.
Ooh, what is that?
That is a hobgoblin racial ability to heal for 4d6 once a day whenever I want.
Now, for all their intents and purposes, specifically, probably of most interest, Easy, this is a rest. You would, though you are not healed, though you are still hurt, you can still prepare your new spells. You still have whatever you would need for a new day if either of the other two of you have any of that.
Okay.
But as you pick up, as Trey focuses and his skin starts to just reject the bite of cold, you look around and notice it appears that not everyone is here on the deck with you. Marius is nowhere to be seen.
Why can't the ritual just be normal?
I'm really freaked out right now. Did I mess it up?
You're
fell
freaked
asleep.
out. You see Reese just holding her head. You look like nothing happened.
Well, you look awful, so that's why I'm freaked out.
I feel awful. Oh, by the gods.
Dude,
Where's, what's his name?
Marius.
Yeah, that one.
Probably stuck between dreams or something. Couldn't tell you.
Wow.
Well, don't be worried about him or
What?
anything.
It's not like we can do anything to fix it.
We try the ritual again, go back in the dream, maybe find him.
What? Is that from the dream?
Remember that planet we were told about?
The one you dreamed about?
The frozen place?
Yes.
We were there.
Hellscape is all it was. Ice and death and ruin.
We went there.
We went there. Physically.
Not the dream. Us.
Oh, okay. Not in a dream.
Does it look like it was a dream?
Please.
Look at us.
Okay, listen.
Taking off a gauntlet to show like a blackened hand.
And Freeling.
Oh my gosh.
That was called off the top. Not to interrupt whatever reunion you lot have going on down there, but and she gestures up ahead to where you can see a city looming on the banks of the river, not far ahead.
Oh no.
We're about to pull into the port Zur, so if you lot could wrap this up and take it inside, that'd be great.
That would be great.
Pump everything you have into us, just in case. We don't know what might happen.
Those other two, the Gossa and whatnot, them scholar folks gathered up most of the bits and pieces from your ritual. Weren't sure we were gonna see you lot again. They've got them inside already. But just stay in and let me handle things here.
Fine by us.
It'll be a quick resupply, hopefully. Zur's a bit of a bigger port, at least.
Gonna
Anyway, welcome back.
hobble
Good
down,
to be back.
out of sight under deck.
Okay.
And
Come on.
the five of you with Reese pick yourselves up, and though Cammy feels fine, the other four limping, struggling through the door into the you have two choices: the absolutely packed cabin filled with all of the refugees where there is basically no space for yourselves, or
Probably cargo
you could go
space.
down into the cargo hold. It's less friendly and there's some work going around, but it's a little less crowded.
Cargo space off to a corner where we're out of the way.
The holds in the deck are already open as holding in the docks at Zur. You know they're going to be looking through and running some sort of an inspection, so you make your way down to where all of the hardwoods, supplies, the barrels of water, and everything are stored down below. Reese just shakes her head. This is what happens to you lot every night.
Not that. It seems like you got the short straw and got the bad luck.
Well, you wake up from it and you're no worse for wear, but
It's because we don't go there.
from the stories that he's told me, at least, it sounds like it's not much better most times.
I think this is honestly the worst.
It looks it.
At least there weren't any giant spiders.
You don't know how bad the frostbite is till you're not cold anymore. Oh my god.
That wasn't Carcosa. That can't have been Carcosa. That doesn't make any sense. Carcosa's not a land of nothing. It's not a frozen waste. It's not a dead shell. It's supposed to be a palace, sprawling greens, euphoric, a land of excess and decadence. That can't be Carcosa.
It can be. Just because a book says it's not doesn't mean that's not the truth.
I've seen it. Look, for all the lies Melisande told me, I believe at least that.
How did you see it?
She did something not terribly different than what you lot have done every night, I imagine, with this to connect to the Dreamlands, but hers reached out to the Stellai that was on their far end. Carcosa, what they're supposed to connect to. That's what the ritual was doing in the first place. Whatever she was using that power for, just to enhance herself or whatever, it's still connected to Carcosa. When I first came to Thrushmoor years ago, that's one of the first things she showed me.
Maybe Carcosa's where they go. Like, the planet dies
But it
to
didn't
keep Carcosa
look
green.
like that.
It's like maybe Carcosa is green, but it's because they kill planets like Bellorai or whatever we were.
But that thing, the mask or whatever he called himself, did he not call that place Carcosa?
Could just be
Yes.
a part of it. Who knows?
Or the remains of Carcosa. I don't think it gets us anywhere to dwell on it. You
know
don't
what
really
we're
go
gonna-
trust.
This is the whole thing we are chasing after. It's what Count Laus needed. It's what Melisandre's entire plan was. It's what we're after.
You're gonna-
It's the whole reason we're following him.
You're gonna let one strange dude in the dream tell you something and it's gonna shatter everything you believe in?
I don't know.
Then
It's, if anything, how is this not a bigger deal to any of you?
listen, lady, I woke up in an asylum with no memories. At this point, nothing surprises me.
I suppose that's fair. You know, after everything we've been through so far, it's honestly easy to forget how it started.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm
happened?
I'm okay.
Hold out a frostbitten hand.
I think.
Are you sure?
I
Did you
think
see
I'm-
anything? What happened to you?
It's, I guess I just sort of. I mean, I didn't go with you, did I?
You didn't go with us directly, but you went to the same place.
Yeah, you were there.
We found you
Well, then-
Sleeping like a babe in the cold.
Well, then why am I not?
Something
Oh,
about
like screwed up.
That thing, maybe.
the doll.
Huh?
Oh yeah, you feel different. Your
Yeah.
connection severed.
The guy in the dream told us that when you go to sleep like that, when you would fall asleep in the asylum, some power was protecting you and recharging, and I don't know. It's all makes no sense to me.
The waters are tepid and the
Right.
ship's quarters are cramped. The party's frostbit and maybe a bit damp. Easy needs more focus to create new rhymes. You can use this at the most opportune time from Scott!
Thank you, Scott.
Take
Push
a
through
hero
the
point.
pain.
Push.
I'm fine, but that one took a lot.
Inadequately
That
appropriate.
is a great one for you.
Do you remember a big snail?
Oh, it's more
I'm
of a.
so sorry.
It was more of a
It was
maggot.
less, more of a larva, yeah, like a maggot or a grub or something.
It had
I wouldn't call it a
antlers.
snail, really. It didn't have a shell.
I don't know.
Well, the antlers are like pipes, really.
Oh,
All of that to know, though. Like,
All of it to
don't.
know?
It's
a good.
whichever
Oh,
way you
for
slice
sure.
it.
Yeah, you could draw them.
Yeah, I just. I mean, I remember doing the ritual, and I remember dropping the stairs, and I guess that's kind of it. I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, like when you wake up, you can't remember when you have like a normal sleep, like some of them you do remember now, but I don't remember anything else.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with MD. I suppose what matters most now is that whatever it was, we're alive. Mostly here. I don't know what to say about Marius or how to even begin.
Well, I'm sure if we find him again, he'll be fit as a fiddle.
He's not still where you
We
guys
don't-
were.
Maybe,
Oh,
If he
cool.
was, he's certainly dead.
maybe he's with the blot or something. Because we lost our protection from the blot.
The-
The innermost
yeah,
blot.
yeah.
Zam. I can't
No.
say it.
Don't.
say
We're not
it.
supposed to
Don't
do
say
that.
it.
But I don't know. The doll is protecting us, but now we don't have that protection.
Maybe the doll has him.
Yeah, or the blot.
Or the blood.
The doll was.
Or maybe-
That's what I rely. We're not supposed to do that, right?
What?
Well, that's what Rye was mad at us about.
We
the
were
doll?
saying
Or the-
its name.
That masked man that we met. The one that found you, same as we did. He or she or it or whatever seemed to imply that you getting pulled there was how this doll protected the group of you. I couldn't begin to tell you what that means.
Me getting pulled to Carcosa?
That's what it sounded like. Apparently that's where you go when you fall asleep like that. Seemed to be the implication.
What?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know.
It matched the description of the city that you've described to us.
Well, I mean,
before.
I've seen it, but like,
Well, now so have we.
In the first hand. It kind of sucked.
I just never felt it.
Yeah. the
It's
mask-
not like that.
Well, if you wonder where all of this frostbite came from. Bloody cold.
Did we recover from resting?
No. You would have plenty of time down here in the hold. You can find plenty enough space to work on things. And while the ship's pulling
Form a
into dock
line.
at Zur, well, being out of sight seems like it's probably wise. Not a terrible time to take a couple of hours to patch yourselves up as well as you can.
Form a line, gentlemen.
But between the Cami engine that is the infinite lay on hands machine and traditional poultices and treatments for the, again, full body frostbite that the four of you, Reese included, are all suffering. It would take...
Chiseling away the frozen flesh.
Jeez.
How much cold damage did you guys take just from frostbite last week? It was,
I couldn't tell you.
Without, because I also took damage from other things.
you did also
So
take
I was,
some damage from other things.
I would say close to 50.
It's probably, I was thinking probably 40 to 50 points
Yeah.
of damage just from frostbite. Was
Yeah,
probably about what
I got
you
like
were taking as a
57.
party.
No.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah, that
Like
sounds
half
about
of
right because
me.
I also took 25, and then I took no damage from the snake things.
Yeah.
So it was about 50.
Sorry, you were sleeping. You
Yeah.
were fine.
No, it sounds like a good week to miss.
You were just having a nice nap. But you
Oh,
would
gosh.
have plenty of time as the morning passed into afternoon here as you were, well, trying to wrap and tend to yourselves as well as you could to fill Cammy up largely on the quick version of your adventures. Though with the crew around and about, not getting into terrible amounts of detail, do you want me to summarize it, or does one of you want to quickly give her the story?
I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You mostly got the high points.
Yeah.
After you fell asleep, they found themselves in this frozen landscape in the middle of a blizzard with no direction or way to survive. They were attacked by some kind of a deer-headed creature. One that had snatched one of them up into the sky,
It went and got one of us.
almost disappeared.
One of us was Marius.
Oh, and I flew.
Trey was flying.
The poor, unfortunate soul.
Trey would excitedly tell you the tale of him learning to fly very briefly and very quickly slamming back into the ground. And as the storm cleared, they moved towards the only landmark they could see, that black pyramid you had seen in your dream. Until MD specifically had been pulled by a compulsion, just a sense that there was something off the beaten path, and they had found you being watched over by a massive larval creature with tentacles as big around as MD's entire body, draping from its
Oh, gosh.
massive dozen-foot tall head, huge maggot-like body, and almost like antlers, a series of complex, strange, interconnected angular pipes
Oh my
emerging
gosh.
from its head, from which a horrible sound emanated.
It was just chilling there.
It
They
didn't
fought off
hurt us.
some strange
Mama.
creatures of the snow and met with a figure they had not seen since Briarstone Asylum. The second of the three specters that you had seen when you found Administrator Lysandro. You had seen that colorful swirling mist, the faces of the Tatterman, an old lady nobody recognized, and this yellow-robed, masked figure who told them largely what the party had imparted to you about the doll's protection and the loss of this shield. But they had little choice but to wake you up. The figure spoke truth. Leave or die. If the cold alone hadn't killed them all, that deer-headed creature certainly could have.
The one watching me.
No, the one that
The
had,
other one.
snatched them, that
They
had
didn't
attacked
kill it.
them as they sheltered in a building.
It left.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It
It
didn't.
didn't-
Okay.
It didn't run. It just left.
We got bored of it.
And after that, you'd all awoken on the deck of the ship.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
that friendly thing right there.
Oh, it's Christmas.
Exactly.
What about this says Christmas to
Show
you?
the
Just out
feet.
of curiosity.
missing
White
reindeer.
and deer.
It says, oh, yeah, it's like a reindeer man. It's
I mean, it red
They don't
and
have
white,
feet.
but like
Rudolph
usually
man.
not that way. You know,
Pathfinder.
There it is.
Biblically accurate Rudolph.
Christmas.
That's just,
The red clawed
That's an
reindeer.
SCP Rudolph is what that is.
Red cloud.
The red cloud. That's funny. So, oh gosh.
They would be able to catch you up on this as you spent, again, the rest of the morning and a good chunk of the afternoon trying to tend to these injuries, which the frostbite alone was extensive. But you'd also see some tooth and claw marks and the markings of what looked like a little bit of a more concentrated blast of frost across a couple of people, where they had been struck by a beam from these serpents that had set upon them once they found you.
What? I didn't get hit by anything.
You got to do rogue stuff. You dodged it. You rogued.
I wasn't even in the line. I left.
Oh, you were the one that was in the line.
Yeah, I walked away.
The line hit the other 3 people.
Walked
You
over to-
dodged it by simply not being there.
I walked over to Cammy.
But this possibly only raises more questions than it answers.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's pretty freaky. But kind of so the doll thing. So we don't have the doll anymore? I didn't really know that we had it yet.
I'm just gonna assume everything the stranger in our dreams told us is a lie.
Are you telling me someone would just go into the dream and lie?
No way.
I mean, I have no reason to believe them.
I mean, but it wasn't a dream? Because you guys still have all the stuff. You're still pretty messed up.
I mean, all the dream stuff is gone though. Like all the dream equipment that we had. We had all our equipment from the dreams.
Yeah.
But like that's been the whole gig the whole time. Is that it's not, or is that not the case anymore?
I guess
We don't know.
Only one way to find out.
I
Well,
don't like
certainly
that way. I don't.
I've certainly got nothing to compare it to, but it sure felt real. It still does.
We don't have much of a choice.
The doll thing, that's like serious. That's
what
what
is
Wyrelai was gonna put us down for.
This isn't the first time I've heard you mention it, but I don't even know what it is. What doll?
We
don't
know
even
what
know
it
what it
is.
is.
We know Wyrelai was willing to exterminate
You know-
us because
you
we
know-
were the chosen of whatever the doll is.
You know the blot, the inmost blot.
No, of it.
Yeah, Marius is super chosen. Marius is like the favorite. The rest of us also are infected by it, and then we have the doll who is protecting us from the blot.
Well, I don't know if I can answer any of this properly. I obviously don't know what any of this nonsense is any more than the rest of you do. But I can tell you something about the unspeakable and its taint.
Hmm.
Do you know why we came to Thrushmoor in the first place? Because it wasn't the Stele.
That was
That was
gonna
gonna
be
be
my
my
guess.
I was gonna guess the thing
found those-
sitting in the lake.
We found those later. That was, I don't know, as much a coincidence. I mean, that was I guess what drew us to Thrushmoor specifically. Maybe I misspoke. But what brought us to Uslov? What brought us to Lake in Carthen? It's the thing sleeping in the lake.
No.
Supposedly, it's the thing's body.
Nailed it.
The source of the blot. The name which should be spoken. It fell from, well, whatever stars beyond the thing lived, hurtling through space and time till it landed there. That's what the lake is, supposedly.
Big
It's the
splash.
crater from where it struck.
It's a big body.
That was what brought us to Lake Incarnate in the first place. And Madison believed that was the reason that's why the Stelae are where they are. Theoretically, they could have been built anywhere if they're just meant to link up to Carcosa. But they were built as close as they could get it to the corpse of that thing.
As who could get it?
Well, couldn't tell you that one. Whoever built the Stelae in the first place. They're ancient, I know that much. Supposedly, they predate human civilization.
They apparently do, according to 2 alien thingies in the cave.
Well, it sounds like they might have even predated whatever came before that. But, I don't know. Not exactly the greatest mind for history. Especially
Same.
history going so far back that there weren't men around to write about it.
Same.
So, I don't know what influence that has, or if it makes any difference at all, really. But, I don't know. It seemed like it might have been relevant. Worth sharing at the very least.
It was very
Good
worth
letter.
sharing. It's nice to know more information about the things we know nothing about.
I don't even know if this is true so much as folklore. There was never really a way to find out. You can't exactly go to the bottom of Lake Incarthen.
As,
Supposedly there's magics that could make something like that happen, but nothing medicine could do and nothing that we could find.
as far as I'm concerned, it's about as true as Carcosa is.
Well, seems like we've been there now, so...
How deep is the lake?
Very. The lake's about as wide across as the whole of Ustalov. It's huge. It would be anyone's guess how deep it is at its center. Which I imagine would be where the thing is, if there's any physical thing to be found.
Is there anything stopping me from just
Pull out the water drinking potion.
drink this and go?
How long does it last? Hours or days? How fast can you swim?
I don't know. And pretty fast if I tie a rock to my ankle. I'm already wearing metal.
I suppose it's not impossible.
How do we get you back up?
Long rope.
We can't pull you.
No, wait. Keep going.
Then I cut the rock and I just go back up. You pull me up.
How would
Easy.
you even know where to start?
Right in the middle.
Right in the center's islands.
Just past the islands.
That's the thing, though. There's no way of knowing where the center of this lake once was. I mean, the landscapes change over time. Even whatever gentle currents are flowing through the lake have changed the shape of it over hundreds of thousands or millions of years, however long it's been. There's no way to know what the center of Lake Incarthon was when it was made, what the center of the crater would have been. It might not even line up with the lake itself anymore.
We just pay the salt.
What were the little fish guys called? I was gonna say Sawhagen.
There are Sahuagin. That was not what they were. Scum,
Yeah.
is what you
Okay.
found.
Yeah,
Sure, they're nice people.
Could just pay the scum to go.
We did that. Why do you think Medicine Hod brought him on in the first place?
That's fair.
She's smart.
They never found anything.
They're not smart.
Oh, I think you underestimate how big the lake is. They're not wrong, of course. Things are right idiots, but even with the whole of their tribe, that lake was huge. There's 2-3 dozen tribes of scum living in that lake. It's not just the one suit of fishmen. There's entire towns and civilizations of their own down there. It's a country into itself.
What do
Interesting.
we even do if we find the corpse? Like, what's...
I'm not saying we go back and look for it.
But what was her plan?
Well, the unspeakable is somehow connected to the King in Yellow, to Carcosa. I don't know how exactly. I don't know if anyone does. I know Melisande came seeking answers, hoping she could figure out how, find some kind of reason. But the thread that ties the two of them together is a strong one. I know that she believed, at the very least, that that's where it had come from in the first place. It had launched from Carcosa, spiraling through space until it landed here. It might have been the very thing that attracted whatever built the stela here in the first place, bringing them not just to the lake, but to the planet.
My head hurts.
Well, you met those things under the well. So there's at least a decent amount of evidence for something finding this place and far beyond being called here.
I get that part.
They
Ev-
claim they didn't come here on purpose. They weren't seeking anything. They were simply fleeing from what you're right. Sure as bloody hell sounded like the place that we just went to last night.
Yeah. They're home. That's what
But it can't be a coincidence that they ended up here too.
There's no telling. They're following whatever put the Stellai down, from what they told us.
Is that what it is?
Yes, the Stellai, there was Stellai on their home too, and those things came back. And
There's more Stellae.
from what they did we not tell you this?
I never spoke with them. Medicine
Oh.
did, but she
This-
told me she never found anything from them. I don't know if that was true or not.
The short ugly of it is, from what I remember, the Stellai were beacons. Something was traveling through the stars. This looks nice. Put the Stellai down. We'll come back to it later. And then the city we're just in is the end result. What that means, I don't know.
So it marks and then something follows.
Or they come back.
Yeah.
The guys in the well were following behind that, following the trail.
Medicine believed the Stella were a connection, that they were meant to draw either Carcosa to us or us to Carcosa. Wasn't sure.
That could still be true. It just might be that Carcosa is for few at the cost of many.
I never never thought about why Carcosa would want to be connected.
Well, to be fair, it's all speculation. We have no clue what it actually is, or what it does, or who, or why, or where.
We thought, I mean, I thought, I up until last night, that we were the ones reaching out. That the stella had been put by those seeking Carcosa. Its splendor and its decadence. Seeking better lives and better situations and an end to war and famine and disease.
Through desolation.
Scarcity.
Can't fight if they're all dead.
Pretty much. It's all over when there's nothing left to take.
Well, to be fair, even that's not true. Plenty of things were still alive on that planet.
They might have
So
came
what had
out.
happened if it had worked then? If it wasn't medicine seeking this for personal gain, but someone who was actually looking to use the stella to bring it into Carcosa.
You'd
Someone
probably,
that still could, they're still there.
you'd probably be in Carcosa.
What would happen to
Where?
Galarian? Would it look like that? Would it look like that place we went last night?
Probably.
Maybe.
It's hard to say.
It could explode.
What do they do? Eat the damn sun?
It could teleport the entire planet to somewhere else. Who knows?
We're very small in all of this.
Lowes. He's an idiot, but he's surrounded by enough people that have answers that if anyone knows, if anyone could know, it might somehow, against all logic and reason, be him.
Well,
He was the one. He was the one who put all this together in the first place. You know that, right? It's not Medicine's cult, it's Louse's.
yeah.
Medicine was just the
I
only
thought
one
it was yours.
Thought it was
clue
you.
what she was doing.
It's my call.
Well,
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
not to undermine your role in the whole thing,
No, I know.
but
Well, the cult doesn't exist anymore.
It's well, I thought, yeah. I mean, not like really, but like we all gathered together every night.
We all do rituals.
And
And
yes.
night.
Too.
Yes, we're the cult. Now we're the cult.
I don't know. I just kind of thought.
well, it's certainly your cult now. You're the only one capable of doing this ritual that sends all of them to the dream every night.
You know.
You hear the sounds above of ropes being tossed back across and ties being undone. It's been some hours, but it seems like the business in Zer is concluded. Nobody ever came down to check the hold or anything. No inspectors or investigators came to double check the manifest. The workers were all, for most of this time, up on deck, presenting and organizing things ready if necessary. Leaving you, and since you had picked up the refugees, a very rare afternoon, or well, morning, really, of calm and quiet.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Time to study.
Much of the day has passed. There would be a moment for you to attempt. You could try with what daylight you have left as the Sullen Starling pulls away, fortunately, seemingly without incident, from the capital of Razmiron. You could make a quick effort to attempt to learn a little bit more about something. At the moment, you have learned the keys to 3 of these places. You've already collected, of course, the Signet Ring and the Feline Tail. And you know now how to travel to the strange necropolis in pursuit of the Royal Ghoul's skull. You have the Ambassador's Heartstone, the Webbed Foot, the Captain's Tricorn, and the Green Stone Idol, to which you've made a small amount of progress
I have oof.
left to investigate.
Heartstone.
Heartstone, Occultism, Medicine, Arcana. Anyone like to join him?
I can help.
Miss
I
Occultism
can do
is
stuff.
probably down for this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're gonna
I'll
do that,
Arcana.
okay, it would have to be you leading, as the general paranoia in
Yeah.
Tammy's mind doesn't want you to be helping. her.
Feeling
She
even worse after
really
that
trust.
conversation.
Oh, we can't do it separately?
You can have one of you work on it and one of you can aid? Because you're kind of using the same.
I guess I'll
books.
be getting aided
You got
then.
the- you have the
'cause
same-
Literally can't be
Yeah,
aided.
you have the same materials.
Sharing a book in class.
I
with
was gonna
someone
say
for
I'm gonna tear
theirs.
that.
Push
Just
your
take a
best together.
page.
But you
Doing
too.
the lizard.
I'll help.
Lizard,
What's
occultism,
lizard?
religion, diplomacy. All right. So, Sully, if you are aiding, go
I
ahead
can
and
help
give
with
me
either.
your occultism check first.
Nat
Nat
20.
20.
What are you,
Plus,
master?
plus 19, so master, yeah.
You're a master in
I get a
occultism
plus
now,
3.
which means you get a plus 3 to
That-
your Arcana check.
that makes
I
my-
just realized Greedy ended up in the dice tray.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's chilling.
That
He's
makes
lurking.
My Arcana almost as
He's
good as your
blessing the
occultism
die.
base.
What do we got? What do we got?
27.
A 27?
I will re-roll it with reckless charge because that's what this is here
Recklessly
for.
charge into the
Yeah!
books, brother. Let's go.
It's a 10. It can only get better.
That's not accurate.
That's true.
It's a 4.
It got better.
It's better.
Who's aiding who on this
He's
side?
aiding me.
All right.
Helping.
Easy. Let's
21.
get your roll first. 21 is not good.
5
not
plus
crit fail.
17 is a 22.
Wait, that's a successful aid. Aid's flat DC 20 for the research. Flat DC 15 for most things since the remaster, but I'm keeping it 20 for the research, so +1 to you, MD.
I'm using religion. It's a 6 on the die.
You know what you must do. It can only get better.
You'll get it back.
I'm gonna save that one. Actually, that was way too good to use on anything else. For a total of a 23.
23? Ooh.
Oh, no.
Good thing you aided because the +1 makes it not critically fail. So,
Yay.
so good
We're
thing
tired. It's been a very long
It's been
day.
a very difficult day, and you don't have a full day's worth of
Have you
study.
tried reading a book with frostbite on your hands?
I can't turn the pages.
I have.
Can't
look,
feel my
this is-
fingers.
I'm going to prevent going on a huge tangent here. We're just going to keep going
Tangent.
forward. So,
One day
tangents are for the post show.
Write a note.
But
He can't. He gets frostbite.
with only the few hours left in the day, you're not able to make any meaningful progress towards finding any other avenues of research to pursue. The night comes. You do have a new destination if you wish to attempt the ritual.
I don't wish to attempt the ritual.
It's not like we have a choice.
I mean, I don't feel awesome
You
about
would all
it.
be, because with your hours of healing, if I wasn't clear, you are all at like full health. You had plenty of time down there.
It's
Which is
genuinely
a little crunchy.
worse
The
to
land
like gear
cycle.
up going into the dream actually knowing where you're going versus not.
it?
Knowing that it's gonna suck really, really bad is 10 times worse than just being like, well, who knows? Like,
I would
Well, we
like.
don't know what
You
this
know
is
it's
gonna
gonna
suck.
suck really bad. It could be anything.
I saw them.
I would also.
I saw them.
I would
That was
like
accident plate. That was the wrong place.
an extra day to re-up the ritual between me and Cammy. That
the
is turned
following
off.
day,
Wait, it's turned off?
It's turned off. We didn't do it.
it expired. It wore off. It has a
Well,
duration.
It has a 7-day
You're gonna
duration.
spend more than a week. The following day, you should be clearing the border of Rasmuron, which means that hopefully there should be somewhere that Cell and Starling can dock to offload the refugees.
They had a schedule anyways.
Once that happens, the boat will be clear enough again that you'll have some space to do a ritual during the day, as you found that with all these more than a dozen refugees on board, there's just nowhere to perform.
Yeah.
You need a place with focus and be able to set
So
up.
we just wait another day.
You can certainly wait. There's no reason you have to do a ritual
Yeah.
just because you have a destination.
So we wait a day. You two ritual. We study because we're nerds.
Yeah.
And then we go to the ghoul
We're
dream.
nerds.
The smartest ones in the group.
Not a
What?
bad idea.
No, that's us.
I got no in.
That's you two.
What? What are we talking about?
Intelligence.
Oh,
score.
yeah.
Intelligence score. It's you and then me.
I'm average.
My brain's so muscly.
We're the same size.
Well then, if we're deciding to wait a day for a better situation, you would be able to sleep as soundly as you can aboard the very crowded Cell and Starling. Hopefully, this would be the last night. And the following morning, two things. First off, MD has one he wants to save, so here's another one. Scott! Hopefully a little more expendable there for you, buddy.
Super. Hasty block.
Ah, super expendable.
It was the best I could do.
Although I think you made some good work with that with the chair once.
That was me.
That was you. That was you that did the hasty block with the
I was
chair.
like, can I hasty block with like furniture?
So, hell yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely,
No.
you can.
I
Let's
think
see,
I
hero
literally
point
just,
card. We'll bend it a little bit to make it work.
It is also just a good card if you have shields.
I have a shield, actually, so
Yeah, it's not bad for
I
you.
forgot I have a shield.
The second thing,
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
early in the morning,
Cannon
Stone
fire.
Starling would have passed the borders of Razmiron in the night. So when you awake, it would in fact be the last day of the crowded conditions here on the ship. It is only about an hour after sunrise. Would a small coastal village come into view? Somewhere the refugees could be safely offloaded, and admittedly, there's not a whole lot you can really do to give them a great start in life here, but it's certainly better than being forced to row beneath the decks of that tribute taker off the coast of Razmir forever. Malnourished, starved, beaten. The odds they have here are certainly brighter than the situation you left them from. It's a fresh slate. It will be a difficult start for all of them, surely. But they have a chance. At the very
Could
least.
it be compared to waking up with no memories in an asylum?
Yeah, I guess you guys have had the worst conceivable start.
Yeah.
Waking up like on a list to be disemboweled and murdered on an autopsy table
Yeah.
Compared
with
to
no
just-
memories of where you are in prison. It's it was not a good start, is what it is. Derp,
Hello.
roll a nat 20. It'll be so funny, dude.
That's a 14.
That's from Corey.
I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say that sounds like Corey.
It's because it is.
No, I'm saving the nat 20 for when I break, because I'm currently at 9 out of 10.
So, as
Called foe. That's a really good one.
that's a really
You're at
good
9
one.
out of 10.
Yeah, and I've been sitting there for like
So-
3
what?
sessions.
Hey, that's new. Hey, that wasn't in the update. Oh.
I've been sitting there for
I'm
a
doing
while.
great.
Okay.
He's been having a little difficulty. Kevin's in a bit of a spooky place on account of he's got 2 already.
I think we
Yeah,
need to
that's-
maybe strategically target some soothes in combat.
He's got to start giving himself therapy.
We gotta get some. We didn't need a therapist.
Well, no, I want to break, because if I break, I get 2 superpowers.
Okay, leave him then. Leave him to his devices.
As Trey and Easy could spend the day working on some research, trying to make some more forward progress for the future, MD has another plan. Tell me a story, comrade.
Well, once upon a time, there was a sheep in the forest. No, that's me being funny, by the way.
It was funny.
Okay, thank you.
He's a funny guy. So I'll keep him around. He's
It's pretty much the same setup as the previous ritual. It's not super spread out. There's not a whole lot of pop in circumstance, but it's oils and tinctures that MD has mixed himself. This time, noticeably lacking, there is no knife. No knives.
Promise?
Promise.
Okay.
The ritual, its base has already been completed. It's more along the lines of just kind of renewing the magic. It's run its course. You already have the marks. You've already started that. There's no need to add anything else or do any more painful cutting.
Just stabbing this time.
Oh my gosh.
It's... What's the best way to phrase it? It's telling your story. Things about you, what you've done, where you've been, what you hope for, what you dream of. Normally, according to what I've read, it would also be beseeching the ancestors and the spirits around you, but we have no memory of them. So, talk to random ghosts on the ship, talk to the gods, ask for their guidance, ask for the protection. It's a day of that. It's easy.
Okay.
So,
Hello.
good.
So, I just okay.
Talk. Just talk.
Okay. It's like awkward with you watching me. Just about like anything.
Anything. What do you hope for? What do you regret? Where have you been? What have you done? You can tell the story of the asylum. That's part of who you are now.
Feels like the things that I regret the most I probably can't remember.
Not
Maybe that's for the best.
not Edelme. Cammy.
But the sins of one have quite the effect on the other. I woke up in an asylum and found myself in pretty damning circumstances. But fortune smiled enough to make it so that I wasn't alone.
And as this progresses throughout, it's pretty much a day cast time, right? It's an 8 hour.
Yeah.
Throughout the morning and into the afternoon, this latent magic that had been woven between the two of you by the first casting of this ritual starts to reignite. So you are the secondary caster, I presume. What is she rolling?
It's
do I
either
roll then?
athletics, diplomacy, or society.
Athletics, diplomacy, or society?
Yes.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
why I remember. That's why I took a
Athletics,
little
right?
bit more. No.
She's gonna-
Diplomacy is my best one out of those.
Let's see it.
So 12 on the die, so that's going to be 25.
25. It's a DC 22.
Regular success.
Whew.
No harm.
Didn't mess you up.
Yeah.
That just leaves you
Number some to the side.
conducting the ritual and the
With hero points.
With hero points.
With hero points.
I am a ritualist. I'm using religion, so I do get +2 to it since I am leading the ritual.
Okay.
So
Are you ready for your bones to explode?
Huh?
11 on the die, plus 18, so 29 passes on the 27.
All right.
No.
Well, now his bones.
Oh.
Every time you get hit.
As
He does. Oh, go ahead.
as the day winds down, it's a lot of silence because there's not a lot to talk about. We know everything, right?
Yeah.
It's been a very short existence between the two of us. But as it comes down, you feel a warmth spread across where the cuts were originally made. As you feel the magic kind of reignite. You become more aware of MD's presence. Just like before.
It's kind of itchy.
Oh, it's probably fully healed. It's been over a week.
Ah.
Yeah, look at there.
That's cool.
We
It
match.
is interesting to think about the fact that the four of you here have more or less been together for almost 100% of what you can remember. The whole of your lives that you have in your memory, you have spent
Just a shot of friends.
surviving together, persevering against whatever has been thrown against you, and casting yourselves into a consecutive series of worse and worse situations.
Nightmares.
Literal nightmares. Meanwhile, the other two of you are reading books. What are you working on,
Book
fellas?
time. Book
What was the one
time.
you worked on?
You were
Stone
going green stone idol of a water lizard, and there's Ambassador's Heartstone. The two that have been
Yeah.
tried.
I could-
think Webbed Foot
I
and
could do
Counter
Hearthstone
Strikecorn haven't
with
been
you.
tried.
I'll do
yet.
lizard.
Wait, what? We're doing separate?
Yeah. Why not?
You can do separate ones. You don't have to work together. It's just you get a
Spread the love.
bigger number. If someone's aiding, it can help, but you can just throw two different rolls. and
Yeah, I'll
stuff,
do
too.
Hearthstone again.
Hearthstone me. We'll start with you then. Trey, give me your Arcana.
Of all the results on the dice, that is 1.
No. You got a thing.
But we haven't even made progress yet.
That's true. I guess it would
The
not.
book
yeah.
explodes.
I do have this. It's good.
Nah.
I kind of don't want the +2 because I like critting, and that
Use
prevents crits.
Critting good. You do crit a lot. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Or no, that one doesn't prevent crits. It just
Spider-Man.
goes away when you crit. So I'll get it for like 1 attack. But I will instead
Come on, Trey.
use it
Come on.
You got this.
for a 12, 26.
Woo.
Close.
Ah.
It's not a crit fail.
So yeah, not a crit fail. That is important. Not a crit fail is an important thing that we're looking for.
Arcana is not my specialty.
Easy.
I'll do the idol
The
for diplomacy.
idol.
Come on, idol. Talk to me.
two very different reactions to that roll.
He's thinking.
25.
25? Definitely not going to succeed.
Beans.
Not by far, it's not going to critically fail.
Ooh.
Which is good, because you have a little bit of progress here that you probably don't want to lose.
And
Because
undo all your progress.
this
Lock
this
rug.
research in particular, the one pursuing the Greenstone Idol, so far is, by a significant margin, the most esoteric of the subjects that you've looked into. MD was able to determine that this idol referred to an old one known as Bokrug, but even further information about what Bokrug is seems to simply not exist. Being a great old one would put it in league with such creatures as Zamindor.
You can't say that.
No.
You're banned.
AJ!
Of whom
that doesn't count.
It gets worse when
information-
we say it more.
Information is very intentionally sparse and hard to find. These are the books that Lowell's ostensibly used to research the subject, though, so if there are tomes in which you could find knowledge. Certainly it's here somewhere.
If Lyles is such an
He's
idiot,
done the collecting for you
if he's such an idiot, how did he get anything out of these books?
by having other people largely do it for him.
We should outsource.
I wonder who read them before.
I know who could it
I have
possibly
no
have
idea.
been.
Melissa.
Weird little sense of deja vu
Yeah.
trying to track these things down.
Or like the
Feels like I've
sensation where you feel like you've like read a page but retain like and then you have
you
to keep
retain nothing.
rereading
And you
it.
stop. You're like, wait a
It's
minute.
like
you
I've
just
already read
read
that,
the
but
same
then you
page
don't.
again.
Yes, but
You got a little bit of that for sure, kind of cutting through a bit.
That's wrong.
But with the day passed and with the ship cleared, you can bring your evening's rituals back inside again, no longer banished by necessity out onto the deck. You can conduct this work in the cabin as you
Alright.
normally had.
My favorite thing about Kevin moving seats is that the character sheet, like next to him, never actually changes. It is the same, like scrawled and worn and like on its
Ooh.
last leg.
How is do ritual?
got holes in
How
mine.
is do ritual?
How is do it?
Lack important figure.
Lacking.
What was his?
What I figure is because, just for
What check did
full
he do?
disclosure, he did survival.
He
I
did
can do
survival.
survival.
You want to do survival?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
just better at it than
The
me.
point of the ritual is that the number of casters it requires is really coincidentally the number of players that there are. So I am okay. I will give you guys a pass to just say that because you can pass one. I'll give you no success, no bonus, no failure. The point of it mechanically is that everybody has to make a check to contribute to this. Everybody is currently 4 people. So if you want to make the survival one, instead, we can shoo off the diplomacy for today just out of the fact that we're down a
And
person.
wavy.
And wait,
Hand
The
wavy.
number of people that go in the dream, the number
that
of
was
caster.
not a
I mean, really, that is, you are trying to bring less people into the dream. So truly, that's a good way to look at it. It's you are trying to connect one less person.
Wait, so if
Into
3 of us leave the room, Sully can solo.
Solo.
cast, right?
You will be the only one in the dream who will also have to solo whatever's on the other side of it. But yeah, theoretically.
I
this.
run back out as I'm starting to disappear and melt into the floor. Like tag me.
So, we will start, as we always do, with the stairs in the hands of Trey.
Come on.
Beginning of the incantation, chanting
18.
the arcana. That's big. Oh, that's your total.
Oh no.
That's no, that is the total.
No.
No, it's not big.
Come
Oh,
on.
that's not
That's a
big.
That's
4
my
on the
first
die.
time failing.
First time critically failed.
That is, I mean, for the first check, it failure.
long time
So-
rolling, first time failing.
That's a minus. What was
Minus
it?
4.
4.
As we
Ouchies.
have already said, well, first, Alka tries Q2 in the chat. Cheers.
Oh.
Take a
cheers.
drink. I'll drink the failure.
our
Cheers.
chat's not up.
Cheers.
My chat broke too, but I have it on my phone, so that's okay. Good thing I got that working. Cheers.
Cheers. I got short arms.
You got really short. You can't reach across the table. It's too far. Even as the staircase is handed now straight across to Easy, The circle smaller than usual. Reese this time not participating. As you have largely picked up much of the role here. Things are different. The ritual you had started to get used to, the flow that had become regular, repeatable, reliable. We've disrupted it a little bit. Immediately apparent as the staircase is handed to Easy, already almost feeling like it's shaking a little of its own volition, vibrating.
Okay. So 16 plus 20, 36.
36 will critically succeed. Yes! Able to stabilize it somewhat up to a -2. We're going to survival now with
Oh, watch this.
Come on,
kids.
man.
You will survive.
A 10 on the die.
very average.
Average.
22.
-6.
Doesn't somebody else have to go real quick?
As the
just roll a 20.
staircase
-6.
Comes
So I'm working with a
around
plus
to
13.
Kami,
20.
you
drop a
will
20.
have a -6.
So it's a plus. Okay. Plus 13.
It'd be funny.
Yeah, it's bad. No.
We had a bad time last
It's a
time.
7 on the die. But not anymore. Thank you to a handsome ganker. As just as the staircase is being handed to Cammy, she kind of like butterfingers it for a second and starts to like slip. So, oh, sorry. And I'm gonna.
Reese kind of raises an eyebrow. Just. Are you sure you're fine without Marius?
Yeah.
Oh
No. An 11 on the die. We'll bring it up to a 24.
Yeah.
6.
Yes.
That's with the -6.
A 24. You focus. You try your hardest to stabilize this. You can feel that there is a connection here, but it is wrong. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's not linking how it should. And as you drop the staircase to the floor, all of you hear what sounds like a thunderclap. Just a massive, almost deafening bang. In the dark corner, a figure in yellow watches, then turns their head listening to something. Yes, master, I will slow them down. A sane 221. Who says, take a guess, they do one thing.
It's a whoa.
Everybody make me
Oh.
a stretch check.
Yeah. A 1.
What?
Give it to
Everybody
me.
hold on.
Give it to
just
me.
hold, just hold.
Give me the big boy. Where's the big boy?
Hold on.
Do you want
will
to
have
all
your
still
large
roll?
book.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I suppose. No
Or do
time
we
like the
just-
present, right?
I mean, why wait?
So, once again,
Clear him, clear him
That's
from the
not
field.
gonna fit in the tray with him in there.
No, you're
as
right.
this echoing crack reverberates through your minds, Trey laughs. He laughs,
In the face of
laughs.
danger.
and you have one big D20 to roll. Reminder, you cannot re-roll this.
Oh, I couldn't re-roll it anyways.
That's fair, but big boy, big wooden boy.
We get all or Jason.
I was about to say we pass it around.
Oh,
the
we could
table.
pass it around the whole group. That's okay. It's a
Like,
Cammy can handle. Oh yeah. We'll do-
Should we all blow on it?
Everyone kiss it for luck.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't give you as much. I need to. Hold on. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna. Where's the 20?
That's
we
the
didn't
one.
kiss the 20.
Yeah, I kissed.
We kissed the one we don't want it to be.
Yeah, we just rubbed
Okay.
it out of the
It's only 20s now.
Wait, I guess, do we want to do everyone's and then I roll it, or you roll it now?
Just go. Just get it done, please.
up to you.
Give
We've
me your
already
roll, Trey.
Please.
Let's see. You don't know the DC. You don't know the outcomes. It's
Doesn't
only
matter.
happened a few times.
Doesn't matter. I want my superpower. No, it's a 6. I don't get my superpower.
You join the rest of us.
Wait a minute.
Except for you.
Join
With a 6.
I really like this. We should use it more. Oh, sorry, it's a 9. There's a downwards arrow.
Well, with a 9, the result is the same.
Yeah.
With a 9, he laughs. It's not a joyous laugh. It's not a happy laugh. It is an insane, maddening cackle. He almost falls back on the floor just with the sheer force of his mirth. Just losing it.
I'm manic.
It's immediately concerning to everyone. Something is clearly wrong here. And Trey, you may like this. I feel it fits. You now have minor psychosis.
Hey, that's gonna be fun.
At the start of a non-trivial combat, you're going to make a flat check. I'm not going to tell you what the DC is. If you fail, you rage. You can't take anything with a concentrate trait.
Hold on.
You're fatigued after the combat's over.
I thought this was supposed
You
to
lose
be
control.
bad.
Lose control.
Lose
What
control.
is lose control?
I thought this was supposed to be bad. This sounds great. The fighter now hits harder.
Well,
What is lose control?
Oh,
that's
what
a
is he-
I
smirk
am going
right
to be
there.
confused.
That's not good.
There's a smirk happening.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
I think AJ's gonna have more.
Constantly humming.
Just constantly critting Cammy.
I still need a couple more stress checks.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Oh, no.
I rolled an 18.
18?
I rolled
Yeah,
12.
okay. 12? Plus
What?
1.
What?
8.
I thought I was fine.
8?
Oh no.
Oh,
you
okay.
were
I
fine.
was better.
I need therapy.
We all need
I need therapy, and maybe if we could really get those drugs on board.
I need to.
Something to cut the edge.
I need to. MD needs to invest in a therapist couch because right now he's the most grounded out of everyone.
He's doing okay. He actually hasn't broke at all yet.
Oh
He's
my
had
gosh.
actually nothing bad happen.
There
to
were
him,
the two of you that did not have. I mean, Marius does not have a madness yet either. He's also doing it.
but he is a ghoul.
He is a ghoul. He's got his own
He has his own
stuff
problems.
going on, you know.
He doesn't have time for madness.
The ritual is clearly failed. Now, whatever has overcome Trey here is deeply unsettling to everyone present. There's nothing left to do. We have the stairs here. And as you all just kind of watch him laugh, it takes some time before he finally is able to catch his breath and recover. Rishi just kind of looks over at Easy and mouths, "Is he okay?"
I don't know if he's ever been okay.
That's fair.
I don't know if any of us have been okay.
Well, I take it didn't work correctly.
At least
You're
we're
all
not
still awake, so
Yeah. At least we're not on cold planet.
yes, we're on a cold planet. Well, I suppose it's a good sign if any is to just get a good night of sleep then.
I think we need it.
It feels like I haven't slept for days. I mean, it feels like we didn't last night, but I'm not exhausted.
I can't tell you the
Yeah.
last time I had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
Feel you.
no time like the present, right?
I suppose.
I'm just going to wander off to bed softly.
Still just kind of laughing.
Really
As he
not
was like,
that
Reese-
funny.
She just kind of nails down the circle. What? Is he all right?
I don't think so.
Every time the group of you do this ritual or come back from this dream adventure, you seem worse for it. Maybe not physically, but
Mentally.
I knew you. You're all very close to me. And even though you're certainly a bit different people now, you're not that different. But I don't want to see you fall apart. So just make sure he's okay. Is there anything we can do for this? See, this was what medicine was for. This, with her,
Well,
connections, her psychic, whatever it was she does, the mind reading. This is what Shira's supposed to be good at. She could fix these things. She could.
It
Good
can be
news.
fixed.
good news is, I'm pretty sure Melisande wasn't the only one in all of Galarian that could do it.
Yeah, hold on. She could fix it?
She could keep us grounded. We weren't doing rituals like this, but I mean, what we were doing under the manor at the Stella, it was something similar. I mean, it had an effect on people. It had an effect on all of us, especially you. If she could get you through that, then
Prevent or fix?
she reaches down and pulls off her gloves and just drops them on the ground. Give me your hands. Okay. Think of a number. Whatever number, anything.
Okay.
And she really squeezes her eyes together and she's focusing with Easy's hands in hers. Okay, I guess this is why people bound it when they do this. Is it like 47? What is that? Billion something? Some ridiculously huge number.
It was 12, but you're so close.
Dang. I still have. When she was in my head, I was still there. I couldn't control anything, but I was like a passenger, just seeing what was happening. I felt the pain, I felt the movements, I felt the magic that she did. It was her mind, but it was my body. I didn't have a lot of time really to think about it, but I felt how she did it. And she reaches down and pulls out a knife from her boot and just slaps it on the ground. Not stabs it in the ground, but just puts it down flat. Watch. And she just sits down, kneeling, hands in front of her, and just stares at it. And just focuses, like she's trying to stare a hole into this knife that's just sitting on the wood of the cabin. And you see it start to lift.
Whoa.
Point, the blade of the dagger slowly rises, kind of tilting off the ground, rolling across the pommel before it just drops and clatters back down.
That was incredible.
All I can do is try to copy what it felt like when she was in my head, but it's what I've been working on while the group of you have been looking through those books, trying to find places to go at night with Rachel. I've got nothing better to do.
I mean,
Dude, that was incredible.
it wasn't that impressive, but it's really cool.
Coolest thing I've ever seen.
When we fought,
I got stabbed by a telekinetic rapier. I think that's more impressive.
that was her magic. That was her telekinesis. That was her spellcraft. She had my body, and she had my knowledge. She knew how to do what I knew how to do because she was in my head. But she didn't have practice with it. She didn't have the effect of the training. She just had the surface level knowledge. All that she did with it was throw things around with magic. She didn't really know how to fight or dodge or do the things that I would know how to do. She didn't have time to dwell on it, to think about it. She just had to go. I do. I have time to think about how it felt. How it felt when she did the magic, when she moved things around, how she wielded blades with her mind. She didn't use the mind reading. I didn't get to feel that, but it was there. Her mind was in my mind. Everything she had was part of me. It was a lot. I wish I'd had a better opportunity to focus on it. I hadn't been distracted by finding out that everything she told me was a damn lie. But I know it's possible.
Well, then,
I'm just working on how.
keep trying.
So maybe it's something that can be done eventually.
Okay.
Well,
Oh.
our hopes are on you.
And neither of you remember how you learned magic in the first place, do you?
Yeah, you just gotta do like a rhyme or something.
I don't even know my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Even I have some minor magic.
Two of the most powerful spellcasters I've ever met, and neither one of them can tell me a single thing about how it started, because they don't remember anything more than 2 months ago.
We're the most powerful spellcasters you've ever met. Oh
I
my
mean-
god.
Don't let it get to your tiny little head.
You see, if you I have magic tied directly to my emotional state. Maybe if you empty out your emotional state, that'll give you a clearer connection.
The closest I've gotten to it is really trying to focus, something akin almost to meditation. That's what it felt like when Melisande did it. Her mind was almost empty, even though she was fighting for her life in a body she wasn't familiar with against all of you. She was barely thinking of anything.
And try that.
That's what I'm trying
I
to
mean,
do.
without trying to move something, just meditate. Get yourself in that state and get used to it. That way you don't have to focus on it, you can just do it.
It's not far from what I used to do at nights.
What you used to tell me,
Well, y'all used to
repetition?
make fun of me for not sleeping.
Hmm.
It's something close. Just half asleep, half awake, still ready to spring up and draw a blade if I needed to. But still alert. It's hard to get rid of that part.
Then do that. Get rid of it.
I can work on it.
Like
First,
what-
though, is sleeping.
Right.
And then, I suppose, next is... She sort of gestures over to where Trey is still kind of occasionally just like...
I don't know. I don't know which is worse, that or the screaming in the middle of the
That.
night.
Maybe that.
I know.
That worries me more. But I think that should worry everyone.
Yeah.
With that, I suppose...
Oh, I'm happy with this. It might not be I got my buff, but I got something I'm happy with.
This night's rest is a good time for us to take our midstream break. As we sleep, ruminating on the ritual that was the newfound psychosis in Trey's mind and the tiny little budding magic that Reese is just trying to copy that she felt when she'd fused with Melisande. We're going to stand up, stretch our legs, feel free to get some drinks, get some snacks, check out some of our sponsors, perhaps. All the art pop-ups, and we haven't really gotten to a map yet today, but we will probably.
I don't know about that.
You gotta do a ritual first, but or several days pass. Many things are possible.
I mean, if we sort of fight a mutiny,
That's true. You can really fight whenever you want. We got a boat map. You've seen that. If you want to just fist fight everyone on the ship, you can go for it. It's our boat now.
That'd be a
Well, we
good
should start
idea.
We don't know how to
test the
sail it where we're
trivia.
going, but screw it. That seems fun.
Fight Club in the cargo hold.
Any of that stuff you want, though.
Friday,
I am
but-
the captain
Check
now.
out Arkin Forge. Not just a virtual tabletop. They're also pretty solid map making software. I really like them. We've got our partners over at Eldritch Foundry that have produced all of our party miniatures that will also pop up when we come around to the map things. You see them up there every now and then. They're super nice. I really like their model creator and all the fine dice. If nothing else, we're going to be flexing Norse Foundry every time we do everything. There will be dice. There will be beautiful dice in mini trays, and they will betray us. All three of those places. Code UGT Show can get you a variety of little discounts. Helps support us. Helps get you some cool stuff. It's a win-win situation. Thanks for being here, everybody. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Initial bros.
initial break.
As always, the homies over here on
We
this
got
side of
into
the
a
table.
fight before
Yeah.
the break.
She's still missing something and she hasn't found it yet.
What?
I didn't take it. It wasn't me this time.
I literally don't believe you.
I watched it happen. I did nothing about it, but it wasn't me.
What does that even mean?
You'll see.
You just give her esoteric clues to how
Yeah,
you screw
it's something you
yourself.
use quite
Oh,
often.
good.
like a little gremlin.
It's something I use quite often.
No more
How's
stoked to
having a
heart
little
for you.
brother?
Well, this one wasn't me. I didn't do this one.
We go to sleep.
You were complicit in the action.
We wake up.
Absolutely.
You don't have any younger siblings in real life, right?
No, I have younger siblings. This
Oh.
is an older brother
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
I'm most certainly the
I think it's
innocent
kind of both
babe.
end or either. I guess it depends. Yeah,
It's
I
a
guess
brother.
I'm an older brother.
That's
too.
the
It's
problem.
My
Brother in
younger brother,
general,
I'm
yeah.
10 years older than. So I
Ah,
could,
that's a big enough. Okay, yeah, that's a big enough gap that you don't deal with it. That's fair enough. I think it's more of just like a brother thing in general.
Yep.
It's a two-way street for sure.
God, the chair earlier, that was so funny.
Before we get back into things here,
I live in fear.
let us go around and do what we did not do at the beginning of the session, which is briefly introduce our adventurers. We will start over here with the little sister / older sister having to put up with the situation and go around.
I'm Sully. I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch who has found that it's incredibly hard to sleep when somebody's laughing in their sleep. I want a new bunkmate.
Screams in his sleep, laughs in his sleep.
Yeah.
He used to snore.
Yeah, what's worse, the loud snoring or the quiet laughing?
Who snores?
I snore very
I would
loud.
say snoring. I'm aware that the laughing would be crazy unsettling, but definitely snoring for me. I don't know what it is about snoring specifically.
Because it
I,
rattles
That's rage
the
bait
wall.
right there.
I can't handle it. What?
Snoring. Like
Yeah,
that
no,
just
I,
like.
I cannot handle it.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot survive people snoring. Like, cause it's just like the noises. It's just a funny noise. But like if I'm legitimately trying to sleep, I can't do it.
Howdy, I'm Derp, and I snore loudly in my sleep.
Real life?
Yes. I play Trey Huglum, the minor psychosis-addled frontline fighter who apparently will get to rage in most fights now, and I think that's a buff.
A lot of assumptions on that introduction.
I'm
there.
getting
I don't think
told
it's
it's not a buff. I think it's just a buff.
I think this is going to. I think. Here's
I
what
think
I
I'm going to
think.
get confused and skewer Cammy.
I think this is going to be my burden to bear.
Yes.
What have you done?
Mine and possibly Easy's.
Yeah.
I'm Colby. I'm playing MD, the only non-negatively affected character in the party now.
The only
Oh,
one
man,
that's
you
not
can't
yet.
say stuff like that.
You could almost say he's on a roll.
He's got a decent buffer.
That's another
Even
hint.
like he's doing okay up here. His stress is quite low. He has not yet developed a madness. Marius is in a similar boat. He's got his own thing going on.
Okay, he's a
Used to
ghoul.
be
I
being
am
a
the very large, full-blooded orc rogue. And half of the initial brothers.
ghoul.
I'll pass it off to the initial brother.
I'm Kevin. I talk a little bit in my sleep, like a whisper or like a mumble. Real life.
Oh.
And then
I've been told I do too.
okay, I play Easy, just a regular human bard who yells in his sleep and wakes up randomly. And doesn't finds it hard to get a good night's sleep. And the other half of the initial brother.
My sleep curse is not sounds so much as I am just like a continual tornado of rolling.
You can see.
I do not sit still. I just roll over
That's me.
back and
I
forth.
didn't give
I
you
am
my
a
sleep
washing
curse.
machine tumbler
I
when
don't
I'm sleeping.
think I snore. I don't think I talk, but I will wake up in a completely different position than if I was
You
sleeping.
stayed in the we split
Yeah.
hotel room with you at PAX. I don't think you.
I don't make a
I
lot
would
of noise.
definitely have noticed.
I found it. Colby has my die. Colby has my D20 die.
Yeah,
I told you I did.
It's been right here the entire time.
That's the D20. Yep, that's.
I'm sweating.
How did it get over there?
I don't know.
Wow.
Wow. Oh wow.
It's like
Hey!
It's
From me to you.
Wow.
Oh wow.
it's like kindergarten.
a 20. That's right.
We do have cubbies.
We do have.
We do have cubbies.
We have no cubbies
We got
back there.
cubbies.
We're all our
We got
crap.
cubbies and snack.
True.
That's true. We have wow.
We have a
this is
class
actually-
pet.
This is actually just kindergarten. Holy crap.
You're the teacher.
You're the teacher. You have a
Water
teacher's
break.
assistant. We have a water break.
We don't have nap time.
We have
We
drawing.
don't have nap
I
time.
We have
never had nap
notebook.
time.
We
we
should
do. No,
have
we do.
nap
No,
time.
we do. Break.
It's not nap
That's
time.
snack
snack
That's
time.
potty
That's
time.
That's
recess.
recess.
Considering that this is an hour and a half,
That's
a
recent.
10-minute break, then another hour and a half, I think that qualifies because normally it'd be like a 6-hour day.
Here's what I qualify as nap time. Napping.
Same.
I
Take a 10-minute nap.
I didn't.
think I had to agree with Sully on this one.
I never got nap time.
Anyway, speaking of naps,
Oh
we
yeah.
come back into our adventure here. We are awaking on the dawn of yet another day aboard the Sullen Starling, now free of the coast of Razmaron and back into less hostile waters of the Sullen River. Our journey continues with a day free for us to investigate, well, whatever, really. We have several lines of research we could look down. We have one hook into the dream that we have not managed to manifest successfully, having now had two very different kinds of disasters come about from trying to travel to the Ghoul Necropolis. Who wants to research what during this day?
I'm grabbing my book for that stone idol.
We got 2 stone idol fellas and 2 heartstone fellas.
I
Same split we did before.
I think we
Okay,
just
switch.
squashed
Yeah,
the
we'll
stone
switch.
idol.
Is it possible for me to actually try and help Reese?
Want to help her try to work on her abilities.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right, then we
Absolutely.
3-man the idol.
That would make sense.
I can think of
So-
an idol.
After last night's very minor display of magic, you meet up with Reese in the morning. She does still help you guys with the research somewhat. She brings you books. She doesn't really help with the looking at this point. She leaves that to you. She's accepted this is not a thing that she's really good at. But you, Cammy, seek her out. And what exactly?
I just I'm interested in what you're working on here. Listen, I'm not super I mean, I am into what we're doing down here. But it's not lost on me, like, the consequences of what we're doing here. It's not really, like, something that I don't think any of us would choose, but it's kind of just something, like, when the only thing that you remember being alive for is that, then
Kinda
I
makes
don't
it-
know, what else are you gonna do?
Like I said,
But-
you really got nothing else to center your existence on at all, do you?
No.
Well, I'm not going to say no to the help. Certainly not. I'm making a lot of progress by myself.
Because unless we could find some way to protect us from the side effects of the work that we're doing, or to heal us, it's gonna kill us. Somebody. It's gonna kill somebody.
See, Trey's not really any better for his situation given a night's sleep. So that's a little bit concerning.
It actually makes me mad. He doesn't know how bad off he is.
I don't think any of you do, Cammy. You're... And I say this in the most... Coming from a place of good, you're not doing much better. Just because it's not manifesting the same way in you. Look, I knew you. And even in just the short time that I've known you since then, you... Well, truth be told, most of you seem like you're barely holding it together. I'm worried about Easy. He seems like he's barely himself. I don't know. I hardly even talk anymore. He's... Half the time he's just staring into the damn void. Like he doesn't even know what he is.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, Reese, when I say it's gonna kill one of us.
I don't know if I would be able to help. I'm damned if I'm not going to at least try.
This is the first opportunity that we have... it's come to our attention that it even could be helped. Even on a theoretical level.
Well, I know it's possible. It's just this is going to sound dismissive, but it is just in your head. It's a part of you as much as healing your arm is. It can be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
There's more powerful magics that can work it, but I don't know. It was something Malevolence was good at.
Well,
By mirrors are the kind of magic that she wields, going into people's minds and seeing things. And if I can figure out how to replicate even a little bit of that, then that could help at least, right? All right. So what do I do?
I don't know.
Great.
I don't.
Well, we'll figure it out together then.
Yeah.
You've learned magic once, and I've seen how it's supposed to work. So between the two of us, we've got about the best head start any budding apprentice has ever had, as far as I can see. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
So, you have access to a new downtime activity, which is Teach Reese.
Woo!
Anyone who can cast spells, so that does include you, MD.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome!
Instead of
so what I do is I get mad.
Instead of working
Let
on
me tell you
research or whatever, just for a day, you can spend your time trying to help train Reese in trying to use magic. She's got, like she said, about the best head start anyone can really get, having had her mind fused with Melicin and literally experiencing everything that went into whatever Melicin did. Now, granted, this is a root of magic that is very different than what any of you do. It didn't have any incantations or motions or anything. It was purely psychic, purely telekinetic magic. But it's still magic at its root. And understanding what you do and giving me a check based on your own spellcasting tradition skill, so occultism for literally all three of you, I believe, is usually
Yay.
religion. Occultism's in a religion.
Divine.
Oh,
My-
you're right. You are religion too. You're right. I keep forgetting you're actually a divine caster. Two religions and an occultism.
My modifier just got worse.
Because that is, you do cast divine
Yeah.
spells. So for you, religion is how you cast your magic. Give me a religion check.
Okay. 19
That's
on the
pretty
die.
magical.
So that's going to be
Like a 21.
33.
33 is pretty good. You did it.
I'm a pretty magic little kid, little
She's a good
lady.
teacher. She's a very good teacher, it seems. You may not remember exactly how you learned magic or if that was even a thing that happened, but you have a very interesting assistant.
Hmm.
You know exactly where your magic comes from. Civ.
The king.
How is yours?
Is
14?
I
And
don't know.
with
Should be 15.
Greenie's what?
He says it should be 15.
Because she has one higher intelligence than I do, and mine's 14.
Man, if only you printed out a level appropriate.
It's
character.
wisdom.
It's
It's religion is wisdom.
That's true.
The fault isn't with my
No,
bookkeeping.
that's right.
Oh,
That's right. I was looking at the wrong skill.
I should know.
This old piece of paper is going to last
What's
me
your
all.
wisdom?
My wisdom. It's there.
I can't see that from all the way over here.
she doesn't want to say it.
Okay. No, that makes sense because that's
Now
my
I'm
intelligence.
scared.
That's my intelligence. That's why they're the same number.
So,
I am scared now.
You
That's
have-
my wisdom.
a literal conduit to the entire well of your divine magic. That is the holy emissary that is Greenie.
Yes.
Got that little guy.
It's interesting because you don't really know the source of your magic per se. You can't really help with that. You don't know where it comes from. You simply channel it. You know how it works. And you spend your day helping connect that for Reese.
Yay.
Meanwhile, these three desperately trying to investigate
Idol.
the great old one.
He's leading. I am
For
good luck,
Focus.
sir.
I gave him
He's
my-
leading, so let's get 2 aid checks.
All
Again,
right.
multiple people can aid on this, and your help will stack for the research checks.
Religion. I rolled an 18 on the die. That's a total of a
You're not-
34.
you're not a master, right?
I'm a master in religion.
You're a master plus 3.
I said this like 6 times.
He's a man. I can. You're a master of religion, and he's got a huge intelligence score. Like
Arcana?
those two things do not connect. in
There's
my head
a
really.
reason
Yeah.
I'm a
No,
master.
occultism, religion, diplomacy.
Oh, occultism.
All right.
Because it's
plus-
same as Arcana.
+3 from Master Aid check
That's in the hole.
Oh,
in the tracer.
gutter. Ooh.
Cool. 32.
And you're
I'm trained.
trained. Okay, another +2 still. +5. This is the benefit of having multiple people
Roll
work on
a
one
2.
check.
Yeah.
+5 coming across the easy.
Woof.
It's time to learn.
Is it a 2?
No. No. No.
Yes!
So
Yes!
Please.
+5, so that's basically a 7.
cold
actually.
shot. But everyone's helping me, and I'm just thinking about how my friends are just trying to.
My friends are counting
Your
on
girlfriend.
The power of
Your
friendship.
girlfriend is trying her hardest.
Yeah, she's doing. My girlfriend's
you.
learning magic,
The Keyblade.
Right.
and I push through.
This is it.
Push through the pain.
Yeah?
This is
Why
this is the
the
thing.
pain of all my friends judging me.
I push through the pain of studying and how boring and hard and
You heard it here, folks.
Dumb.
Studying
He was a class
sucks.
clown.
Don't do
studying
it.
sucks. It's painful. Okay.
That's way better.
10 plus 5 is 15, plus my diplomacy, right?
Mhm.
Which is 17.
There we
17
go.
and 15 make 32.
Dude.
You
32.
barely critically failed. I'm so sorry.
That is exactly enough to succeed.
Yes! Because of
We
friend
did
with-
it.
because
The
of
The power of
friends.
friendship.
2 critical aids into this gets you barely succeeding. But hey, you know what we call barely successful? Successful.
Yeah.
Roll me a D.
I got a C in
8.
research.
D8.
D8, good
D8.
sir.
The one you don't roll that often.
I know.
We'll see how much progress you make.
This one.
Just one.
You saying I got
8!
Hey. You
we had
saying
a-
I got a C in research made me think of someone spelling it RECERCHE.
Research.
3 R's.
Research.
Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
8. I think you've only regular succeeded twice, and you rolled a 7 and an 8.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
almost
The
done.
green
Yeah,
scale.
I
We get to
started
go
this.
say
I
hi to
passed my
Boat
notes off to
Crew.
him.
Not even close, but you are making fairly close. But like it's a lot of progress.
See, sometimes
You learned 2 things because you just jumped over 2 thresholds there.
It's just
Finally,
Bokrug.
today, knowledge.
Knowledge.
You'd spent several
Knowledge.
days looking for any mention of Bokrug, of this old one, this water lizard, of which it referenced. This thing close adjacent to a deity itself. And finally,
We found Bokrug.
you find
It's him.
a small, simple, horrible treatise collating of various rumors about different great old ones. It's tucked away in one of the much larger tomes. It's not a lot of information. It's not particularly long. Inserted as a simple point of reference. It has little about Bokrug, but not nothing. It lives in a vast, unnamed lake in the Dreamlands itself. And you find a connection. A race of strange alien creatures founded the city of Ib on the shores of this lake, devoted to the worship of Bokrug. They saw his presence in the lake as one would look at a god, and they created an idol of green stone central to their rites. Now you have direction. You're not just looking for mention of Bokrug, this eldritch water lizard. You have this city. You have Ib. And this, in that same day, near immediately, leads you to another bit of useful information. I'd say quasi-historical dissertation relates how Ib was demolished. Destroyed by proud, warlike humans. Disgusted by the aliens' strange, bizarre rites and their unusual physiognomy. They razed Ib to the ground. A thread opened and closed just as quickly, leaving you with more knowledge, but again, unsure of where to go from here.
Those humans were not cool, dude.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Well,
Let
the
the
reasoning given here
aliens-
is pretty much just straight up xenophobia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
I
were
was
weird
gonna
and gross,
say-
so we killed them.
Then
That's-
leave
What are they,
Hale.
Are we playing
Japanese?
40k now?
They purged the Xeno scum.
Good old fashioned fantasy racism.
Ah, you love to see.
We
it.
love to see
You'll love to
it.
see it.
Different.
We don't love to see it.
We don't watch it.
love-
UGT
I love-
does not.
We love
We don't
xenomorphs.
endorse leveling the entire city of a strange alien race just because they look different.
And they have a different culture.
Yeah. We love Bokru.
No, we don't. Actually.
Let's
Okay,
not-
pump the brakes there, maybe.
Maybe
Slow
we
that
don't
down.
need to settle on
If you said
that
like
yet.
Saren
Sure.
Ray or
UGT
Shaylin.
Bokru.
I, as a representative of the
But at the end of the day, a lot of progress made.
Easy is so smart.
A lot more things
Very
learned,
productive.
and hopefully the seeds of getting Reese to understand how to wield Melison's magic planted and starting to grow. You wish to try the ritual again, friends?
Maybe we should.
Let's go to Ritual
The
Town.
only way we're gonna find Marius is by going back to sleep.
We have to go to
What
the
is-
ghouls to find
He's
Marius.
still not here.
Yep.
What is the code word for this one?
Oh, it's
Croissant.
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 It's croissant
It's croissant.
It's
with a
croissant.
W.
You gotta say it.
Croissant.
Croissant.
Okay.
What is happening?
I'm glad I asked.
We have. I don't know what's wrong with us today.
Croissant.
Today?
Today?
Every day.
Today. This is the secret of Strange Aeons.
Why'd you let
is-
us pick them?
This is not just a representation of the character's mental state. It's also a solid model for the decline of all of us actually at this table.
Yeah.
It is the nature of Lovecraftian horror to slowly drive all who observe it completely insane. And that does include us here today.
Isn't it
How do you do
understanding, not observing?
What are you doing?
Trying to understand
Yeah.
inside
So
bad.
flexible. He's just got a really malleable. Yeah, look at
He's got a
that.
very stretchy face.
It's like Play-Doh. No.
And ritual time.
Ritual time. Let's go.
Or whatever you try.
Oh my
We
god.
sit- Through a ritual that is far from mundane,
Words we chant.
still difficult, but that has become.
Croissant.
regular.
Croissant.
It's the furthest thing from comforting, but it's something we've started to grow used to. Setting out the candles, drawing the sigils, getting the chants, and taking the staircase into your hands.
Does a 28 pass?
Sure does. Regular success. Sure do. Passing it down and along. Easy.
No harm, no foul.
Is that a set?
That is a sub.
What?
That's fine. Cameo carry us.
That's fine, because that's
Please
a 27.
Seminole just regular success. No
Okay.
foul.
I'm the one that has to roll high.
Survival.
No, I have the
I was gonna say I think it's actually.
Well, 25 do it.
Regular success.
Oh,
Hold
the full modifier.
Let's go.
Staircase.
Roll a
It's been a
one.
minute.
Around the
I
circle over the course of an hour. But at a time, as always, it arrives in Cammy's hands, heavy and warm. All our hopes resting on you. No modifier, just an occultism check.
Here we go.
Drop a 1 or drop a 20.
12 on the die, and that's going to be 31.
You can barely hold the stairs anymore. As you feel the energy start to well up in them, and again, you drop it to the floor. It tumbles from your hands, dropping through the wood. A stairway waiting.
Ah, that feels so good.
Finally, the way is open.
Oh,
Since it has been some time since we've done this research, let's briefly recap what it is we learned about our quest to the Royal Ghoul's skull. You found that this skull is almost certainly going to belong to a Lang Ghoul. Denizens of the dream who live in a much more organized and civilized society than the ghouls of the material plane that many of you have had, well, all of you at the asylum have experienced before. These Lang ghouls have incredibly elaborate rituals for their departed royalty. Festivals held over the course of days in the royal crypts themselves, with the bodies of the departed being adorned in lavish jewels and idols prepared for their final rest. And you learned the password to transport yourself to a place in the dream that Count Lowells had used to locate one of these royal necropolises?
It's a necropolis.
Necropoli?
Necropoli.
Because
Oh, a singular. Necropoli would be plural.
it feels right because necropolises sounds super wrong. Either way. You descend down the stairs, as you have a few times before now. Each time you descend, experiencing different feelings. Whether it's the heat of the desert you had first walked into, the humidity of the jungles, or now,
Do we just feel negative?
the dust and the decay. The scent of death filling your nostrils. As a clamor rises around you. The sounds of boots, armor, rustling weapons, footsteps of metal on stone, the shifting and rustling of dozens, if not hundreds, of figures. As if you were surrounded by an entire army mustering for war. You stumble at the bottom of these stairs, still, as always, unable to see where they lead, where your next step will take you. And each of you finds yourself falling down to your knees as the world manifests around you. The four of you are together, rough stone underneath you, unworked, natural, and barren. Barely any light filling the massive, cavernous space that expands around you. First, you notice the figures. Hundreds of soldiers. Some training, some polishing, repairing weapons, some gathered around a litany of various camps, tents, small smithy areas, with fires providing the only light in this barren cave. There's smoke rolling upwards towards a ceiling unknowably high above. The second you notice is a smaller group of these figures kneeling around you, 6 of them in a circle, adorned in strange robes. Their heads bowed, their hands clasped, fingers intertwined as if in prayer. One of them standing above the rest, holding a strange, whirling, thorny censer through which you can smell an incense akin to the grave. And lastly, you see that around you is a ritual circle, not terribly unlike the one you had left behind on the ship. Glowing glyphs and lines around you in all directions, encompassing the patch of ground upon which the 4 of you have arrived. And as you appear and take in all of these sights and these sounds at once, the figure holding the censer raises his head to look across the group of you, and you see the unmistakable visage of a ghoul. Undead, skin rotted, slothed, pocked, bones exposed in various places. This is no Lenghoul. This is an undead much like what you had seen back at the asylum. But after the last time you had seen a ghoul back at the asylum, a priest taken by the plague of undeath, his situation very different from this one.
Nyarlathotep has answered our call. Rise, champions.
He holds the censer aloft as the rest of the circle, like almost surprised, picks their heads up and they look across you, shocked, awed, as if a god had appeared before them. This circle of ghouls.
I'm leaning straight into whatever he just said, and I'm going to stand up, brandish my spear and just hold it aloft.
We have answered the call. We are here to help. What do you ask of us?
The call!
Yeah, anything. What happened?
And the priest, the censor, he looks overwhelmed. He turns his head upward, raising the censer in his free hand up towards the roof of the cave.
This boon, beyond our imagining. We thank you for this gift, these weapons of war with which to turn the tide.
Amen.
Heck
This
yeah.
weapon of war.
The call!
Take care, little numb girl. Out from this ritual circle, at this sound, these cries, more start to take notice. You see the armies around you, the soldiers, clad in armor sharing similar heraldries, but in various states of disrepair, all start to notice your arrival. And every face you can see turned, every bit of exposed flesh, all clearly more ghouls. This is a massive, organized militia
Of conventional ghouls.
of the undead, of conventional plagued ghouls.
I was hoping they'd be organic ghouls.
Grass-fed.
Homegrown.
As more gather around the circle and come to look, prayers passing by the lips of those clustered around the ritual circle, their very prayers having been answered by your arrival, another figure pushes through. A figure with no armor, a wide leather brace set around his neck and shoulders, green skin, no rot, no decay.
This little guy.
A face much more akin to what Marius turns into when you come to the dream.
Oh, don't worry. Her name's Princess. She doesn't
Extended snout, sharp teeth, and dull red eyes. He approaches and you see him put a hand on the shoulder of the priest with the censer. Turn and just nod to him. The priest steps back. This Lengul takes his place, standing upright, looking across the group of you.
Perhaps Nyarlathotep has seen fit to bless us this day. Welcome, from wherever you hail. We have desperate need of your aid.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
bid of us?
Point us to what you want us to destroy.
Are you aware of the situation in which you arrived?
The details are hazy.
No, we kind of just got called out to this job.
There is no brief.
No.
You must be powerful champions indeed, to have been bequeathed to us upon our summons. Whether you heard our call or your own, your aid is welcome. Please, you may simply call me Wilkins. It will be easy. I am the closest to a commander this group has.
And what is the opposition?
Gugs.
Okay.
Many of them. Guards that have kept us at a stalemate for some time. Weeks, bleeding into months nearly now. We returned to this place as we were forced to forsake our royal burial grounds, a site of great import to us. We retreated to battle on another front. But the Gugs outwitted us, taking the position unabandoned. What little vanguard we left was quickly overrun. This heresy cannot be allowed to continue. They must be ousted.
Yeah.
We lack not the numbers to push them directly alone. And besides, the confines of the site limits how much force we can bring to bear. We can march 5, maybe 6 abreast into the narrow halls of that necropolis, numbers a single Gug can easily handle alone. My men would be slaughtered. But you, perhaps, are the answer to our prayers.
Yeah.
It can slaughter 6 of them, like at once?
Are you familiar with the Gugs? Nightmarish beasts.
Can I recall knowledge on what a Gug is?
You can, but he'll also literally just tell you that it works. Like, you effectively will get, as he would explain, the benefits largely of a critically successful knowledge check about Gugs. Wilkins here is very, very familiar with the creatures that they've been battling for who knows how long. So are you two.
Yeah. Gugs are fun.
Oh, don't like
Gugs are horrible.
Huh?
So
They
imagine
are-
a creature.
Strange, warped, near humanoid creatures. Where their head should be, the stump of something akin to a neck simply splits into a toothed maw with eyes on either side. Similarly, each of its arms forks at the elbow, giving
Ugh.
it 2 forearms
That is
and
nasty.
2 clawed hands. So the creatures are humongous, standing 10
Oh, he
to
ugly.
12 feet tall.
Okay.
They are eerily flexible,
It gets worse.
able to fold themselves through holes about as small as what Cammy could barely squeeze through.
Yeah. And not slowly either.
Not slowly, they will shoot through them.
Like you know how a rat can collapse its like skeletal structure.
Oh, there it
No,
goes.
don't like that. The Gugs can fold themselves up into spaces they have no business fitting in, able to still move and fight fully effectively, making it nearly impossible to outmaneuver or escape one. But make no mistake, they are massive, incredibly powerful creatures. And Wilkins tells you they face an army of them.
I don't like that. We just go home.
Oh, it'll be fine. Cammy here's got spells strong enough to take one out all on her own.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can handle 3.
Exactly.
Maybe 4.
Let's see them put 3 abreast in that narrow cavern.
I know not how many of them stand still within the Promenade of Bones now, but given the space and the confines within, I have a plan.
Okay.
I dare not hope that our prayers to Nyarlathotep would be answered, especially not by beings so apparently powerful as yourselves. But if you would strike through the promenade at the plaza, a path more directly from these outer caverns into the central royal crypts, but a narrow one meant for celebration, for revelation, not for war. These passages are too narrow to march a proper army. The smaller force may find success, where we are stymied by our inability to field enough numbers to place down the Gugs. The Gugs, too, will only be able to bring so many to bear. At the same time, I march my troops around to the front of the plaza to strike directly against the bulk of their forces. Keep them distracted, fight, bring down what we can, while you secure the plaza. This may be our only hope to turn the tide of the overall battle here. This is a place of significance, not just to us and our people, but strategically. If they can be ousted from the plaza, we can make our stand. It's defensible. It'll be just as hard for them to push back against us as it is for us to push in against them.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yep.
You are a gift from the dark tapestry that I will not squander. And one that we are deeply thankful for.
He closes his eyes and puts his hands together in that same slightly interlaced fingers, praying gesture. You have arrived into a situation that seems as if it was almost expecting you, and have been thrust into something very different than the experiences you've had in the Dreamland in the past, with admittedly very little information, save for a
I was
rundown
told to
of what
go
a Gug
fight.
is.
Yeah.
Like it's,
It
I was
seems
told
like-
to go
yeah.
fight.
Yeah, it's kind of like
That's what I signed up for.
the Zoogs.
That's in your name.
It seems like
pretty
we
much
were
like-
invited, but I feel like I'm interrupting.
You ever I feel like I've seen this anime before where you just get whipped into another world and
you
go
got
told to
isekai
fight.
into the Gug War.
Yeah, we got
Welcome to the
isekai.
front lines, brother.
Yeah.
This would just be gate.
Yeah. But we
So,
do have superpowers.
What
Exactly.
are you all doing here? Before you give me your answers, Cammy, what is your perception?
Ooh. It's a 14.
This seems like a really beneficial coincidence for these guys.
I knew it.
You're not sure what ritual they are doing here. You have obviously no idea. You've just been dropped into this. But you were not summoned here by their magic. You traveled here through your magic. You went out of your way to organize that, and the only one who had any control over where you ended up was you. You get the feeling that this Wilkins is taking the opportunity to take advantage of you.
I'm taking the opportunity to take advantage of him because I need a lingual skull. That's why I immediately started lying, just like, we answered the call. This is a mutually manipulative situation.
Is it?
No.
For me, I get to go fight.
And we get access to the Promenade of Bones.
That's where the skulls are.
It'd be great to have Marius with us right now, wouldn't it? You know.
For all we know, he's here somewhere.
As Wilkins looks across the group of you here, he nods.
Excellent. I'll prepare my forces for the final assault immediately. We will depart ere long. Ready yourselves, champions of Nyarlathotep.
Right.
And he just raises a single fist, bows his head, a gesture that is repeated by the ghoul priests around the circle before Wilkins turns and departs. The priests are still here in awe, looking across the group of you as if you were figures of divinity. They don't know what to do. There's still a lot of ghoul soldiers gathered around, gawping at the scene as well. Wilkins, the only Leng ghoul that you've seen, takes his leave. As he does, he is already shouting commands, gestures big overhead, and you see fragments of the army around you start to move and mobilize. Oh, so now, what are you all doing?
Just kind of bouncing a little bit, I'll say to the priests, because I'm excited to go fight. I'll speaking to the priests.
If you have anything you'd wish to bestow upon us before we fight, now would be the time.
Our blessings were channeled with all the might that we could muster into the ritual to summon you forth.
What ritual was that again? You guys do this a lot? Just kind of like grab some randos from different...
We beseeched the unholy might of Nyarlathotep to grant us a boon, a weapon. Champions that would aid us in turning the tide of this war. You are not what was expected. We predicted beasts of shadow and sinew with which to set upon the gogs, but champions, unholy in his darkness, are welcomed. I seek not to question his unholy knowledge, his wisdom spanning beyond the stars.
No, you're right. Don't think about it too hard.
What are you doing, Cammy? Are you thinking? Are you sussing?
I'm definitely thinking, because I've got some stuff to think about
Make
now.
me an occultism check.
Yay! All right. Oh! They're shouting. That's just a 6 on the die, so that's going to be 25?
Okay, 25. Even as you look down at the situation here, very sus of everything. Mm-hmm. The ritual circle they've drawn is emblematic. It is a symbol. It is little more than an etching of what you would assume is the holy symbol of whatever this Nyarlathotep is that they keep mentioning. This is not the kind of ritual circle that you had organized back in the Waking World. This isn't the kind of thing that's meant to actually channel magic and energy very specifically, precisely painted. This is, to the short of it, just a prayer circle. There is no magic in this. It does not look like they have done anything. What are you doing?
Well, I want to keep up this bluff, so I'm just trying to remember what I know about Nyarlathotep, and then just trying to pick up any small signs, like the hand gestures they do, the little bowing, anything to fit in.
Give me a religion check.
Okay. You got this. Just roll 20.
It's a 10.
That's what, 10 total?
Yeah, I got an 8
Oh.
plus
Whoa.
2. I am not a religious person.
You have no idea
I
what
can't-
Nyarlathotep is.
But I can't do like society to be like,
What's the
You-
society like? How can I fit in?
That'd be more of a deception, I think. That's categorically like deception to impersonate. You're kind of passively doing that, but they are, at the moment, they are very inclined to believe you. Like, they fully believe, Cammy being the one who knows that this is not true, fully believe that you were sent by their god to win a war for them. That you are holy warriors sent from beyond the veil. You don't have to do a whole lot to get them to believe you right now.
I just don't want to
Given
like.
the situation,
Yeah, I'm actively trying to sell that.
Yeah,
So,
I just don't want to do a one thing where it's like, oh, we don't believe in that.
How about you, MD?
So we're not going towards the plaza right now, so I don't.
No, right now everyone's mobilizing. You're not moving yet.
Yeah, so I'm not as on guard. I'm going to recall knowledge as well. I'm not off the tap.
Okay, give me your religion check.
12 on the die for a 28 total.
With a 28, in all of the research that you had been doing, trying to learn about Bokru, you would have seen mention of the Great Old One, Nyarlathotep. Another of that council of the outer gods beyond the stars. I would say probably Nyarlathotep is the most well-known and most common one. He would be, of all the outer gods, maybe the only one that you would be able to reasonably easily find a good amount of information on. And it is because he is worshipped by the undead. Even back on Galarian, back in the material world, ghouls that are sentient, other kinds of more powerful undead, they somewhat frequently worship Nyarlathotep himself. He is not directly the god of undeath, but it's part of his domain. It's a part of what he oversees. You would also know a little bit that he is sort of a tangential god to the Osirian pantheon, and that he is openly worshipped by, you'd probably still call them cults, but by large groups of living people in Osirion. He is known by many names: the Faceless Sphinx, the Black Pharaoh, the Crawling Chaos. He is very much an outer god.
Those are some very evil names.
Not a good god. No, not a good god. His edicts are like sow discord among allies.
Cheers.
Misuse positions of authority. It's cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers is that's one of his edicts is cheers for that wolf.
Tink.
He is
Tink.
not a good deity.
Oh, passed it. There you go. It's been passed.
But also somewhat uniquely within the outer god pantheon, one of the few that grants power to living worshippers. There are the clerics of Nyarlathotep who have magic. They do chant. He is I believe the only outer god who has a direct hand on the land.
He listens.
He listens to us.
He might not be.
That's probably not a good thing. But he
probably not the best, but you know what? At least he listens.
At least he listens. As you are all here, the army begins to muster around you. These troops splitting off into formations, donning their armor, readying their weapons, preparing for war. Your arrival seems to have immediately spurred them into action, and it seems like it will be only minutes before the Legion begins to march. So if there's anything you want to do, you're not going to have a lot of time to do it. The cavernous space you're standing in here is a massive void, a truly enormous cavern that with dark vision you can see you could fit cities inside. Without dark vision, you can't see anything at all.
You hold our hands.
You can see the ground around you because there's a fires in the smithies where they have their sites for repairing and maintaining all their armor and stuff. So there's enough light to see around the camp, but you're just like an island in complete darkness.
We all know Easy has terrible eyesight.
I'm gonna cast light on my bow, like a little headlamp.
That helps.
And then are we about to leave for the?
It sure looks like they're getting ready to depart.
I'm gonna go ahead and, although I may not keep them all up, but I'm gonna go ahead and stoke the heart for both of you guys as I sort of like, oh yeah, we're fighting for Narthatep. You ready?
I feel so stoked. I'm stoked.
Gotta get pumped.
Yep.
Do some jumping jacks or something.
Soon,
Just a little bit of light laughing. Just
Don't.
you hear the
Somebody
sounds-
stand between us. I did just.
You hear the call and response of commanders and legions, barking their commands and their calls back to each other as blocks of troops begin to move out into the darkness. Each of these phalanxes at their front do have torchbearers. Strikes you as a little interesting, MD, because what you know about the god literally known as the Crawling Dark is that he is a big fan of the darkness, and also because you would all be pretty aware that ghouls don't need light to see. They have dark vision just like the two of you do. It immediately seems like it is more symbolic. They clearly don't need the light from the torches. But as they start to depart, you see again the figure of Wilkins striding out through the area now muchly cleared out. Little more than the priests still gathered, still praying, doing what they believe is their best to channel what energy they can into the four of you. And Wilkins arrives once more.
We march. The journey to the promenade is 4 miles overland across the rocks. Be prepared, champions.
Aye.
Yes.
Sure.
Let us go.
Onward.
I will show you the staging grounds, the head of the promenade, and hope that the blessings of the Black Pharaoh will carry you to victory, and us in turn.
Yep. All right then.
He turns briefly to the priest besides him.
You will not be forgotten for your hand in this. It's the strength of your prayer that will bring us victory this day if we should have it. Forward, men! With me.
And he goes. The priests falling in line behind him, as to, I imagine, do you. The march is several miles. Far longer than you can keep up magic like you're stoked to heart. The journey simply being too long. You can only repeat a spell for about 10 minutes before it starts to... Yeah, sustaining. You get like 10 minutes because it's intensive enough. You can do it for about 10 minutes. And you're marching like 4 to 5 miles, which I don't think you're going to cover in 10 minutes.
You don't
Not
know.
that kind of attitude.
So, okay, you
sprinting.
run a 2.5 minute mile 4 times in a row. That's what we're doing. Yes.
Remember, right by my strength score, it's just a picture of the rock. It's only muscle.
that'd be your con score.
It's right by my con score.
That's funny because it looks like you drew in a +2
But no, that is
where
what
the picture would be.
I don't need to be roasted right now. I don't.
In the darkness ahead, those of you with the eyes to see it can perceive your destination. What looks at first like just a massive pillar rising up from floor to ceiling in this enormous cavern soon clearly is a structure of some kind, looking like it was once worked from raw stone, a massive natural column, probably miles around in the center of this cave, has the faces of buildings, glyphs and murals inscribed across its exterior, doorways, huge gateways, sets of windows and ports all around it at odd angles with no immediate reason that you can see. This is no alien architecture like Pulverai, but more a massive complex. What's clearly a series of small, purpose-built sections, all layered and stacked around each other where they were carved independently into this pillar. You can see the army forking off to the left, and you can hear strange, echoing, guttural roars in the distance. They're organizing. Their legions readying next to what looks to be a massive thoroughfare, a huge opening into the heart of this column, hundreds of feet across. Wilkins leads the group of you a bit of a different direction, around to the side to a smaller opening to the promenade of bones. You approach, still a large passageway, maybe 20, 30 feet wide, a little less than that tall. 2 columns of pillars marching down the center. The hallway is illuminated with a variety of blues and yellows and pinks by strange, luminescent, multicolored fungi carpeting the ceiling of the passageway, giving an almost ethereal look to the hall. The floor is completely scattered, carpeted with cracked bones. Stone gone entirely. You march upon this macabre gravel. Each of these pillars as well, looking almost as if they were singular structures of overlapping skulls, bones, skeletons, just stacked together, floor to ceiling, supporting this mausoleum. As you approach and start to see this, you hear battle cries in unison, ringing from the far distance now, from the front lines, as legions charge into battle. Wilkins and the priests stop some distance short here.
The Promenade of Bones. Following this will lead directly down to the heart of the plaza. The very core of the royal crypts. The holiest of the sites contained within the necropolis. We know not what forces you will face, but our scouts have reported the sounds of several gugs lurking within. And given the space and the columns, you can see there's no room to field the proper force. This is why Nyarlathotep. This is why the crawling chaos has bequeathed you to us. This is the blessing we sought, an answer to this front. Even now, my men charge the front passageways. Many will fall in the assault, but if you are victorious here, we will find success. We will reclaim our ancestral passages. We will oust the rot that is the gugs from our halls. Ride, champions, and stay not your blades.
He puts his fist up again. Again, a motion replicated by all the priests. And swings it back down. And he just looks towards this passageway heading some 40, 50 feet forward.
We will see the work done.
And I'll just turn around and start jogging in that direction.
The blessed darkness shelters you. I must report to the front lines. I'll have to do what I can for my people. Nyarlathotep will protect. His chaos subsumes all.
He turns, motions to the priests, and just forks off, leaving the 4 of you here at this path.
Well, we're here, aren't we?
Let's go.
It is a grim sight. The bones carpeting the floor and making up the pillars are a litany of different skeletons. It's not all simple human bones. Some are smaller. You see bones possibly as small as a rat's or a bird's. Some are much, much larger. All of the pillars, or near all the pillars, you can see supported around their base and their center by enormous bones. Femurs you couldn't wrap your arms around. Skulls the size of doorways. It's unknowable how many different kinds of creatures now rest here in this hall.
At least 4.
At least 4.
Right.
I will be raising my shield.
Fair enough. You keep your shield up, exploration activity, protecto.
Switch over to seeking.
Fair enough.
I don't need to be using my brain. That's her job.
Keeping your eyes open seems wise.
I'm also keeping my eyes open. See if anything moves underneath those bones.
Team seeking team, shields up, and you're still recalling knowledge?
Thinking. A matter of fact,
Big
I
brain.
think that I will slip on my crown.
Oh, not a
Since
bad
I'm
idea.
already thinking, and
Oh, she's a queen. That's
the
right.
circumstances are a little bit beyond me, and this says I get wisdom beyond my own. And I've yet to unfold the rest, so
She starts speaking
We're
in
gonna
another
learn.
language.
Today is
yeah,
what we're gonna
better
do.
good as time as any.
The group of you, much more ready for combat, start to make your way down this passage. Even with the massive columns, there's a fairly good amount of space, but not much more than to walk maybe 3 abreast between them.
We were giving our rundown at Gugs. Did they mention any type of particular weaknesses or resistances?
Not that they had found. They were able to be... They can be stricken down with blades and standard weapons. They are just massive and powerful. If they had any particular weaknesses or resistances, Wilkins did not know. Surely he has your best interests at heart. He would have told you.
Yeah, surely.
Well, then, taking the lead, I will begin to crunch forward.
And crunch you do. These bones, ancient and dry, crack and splinter under your feet. There is absolutely no subtlety to this approach. With every footstep, especially with Trey and MD, echoing, shattering bones ring throughout the tunnel.
I'm very light on my feet, thank you.
The sound echoes back and forth, up and down the passageway, which you can see hooks an angle near its end, some 50 feet ahead. But there is no real reasonable way without, some of the crazy rogue stealth feats that you would be getting through this without truly announcing your presence to anything that is here or near inside.
Well, if you had a climb speed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. You can just monkey your way down the wall and not crack all the bones underneath you as you walk. Make me some perception checks, my seekers.
Perception. You looking good.
26. Scott gave me an expendable card.
Scott!
It's kind of the crunching of the bones takes me off guard for a second, but then I immediately refocus myself and start looking around. That's way better. Total of a 30.
30. The 26, as you're looking through here, it's almost a truly impressive, awe-inspiring experience, as grim and morbid as it may be. These pillars don't even look like they have a stone core or anything. They truly look like they are. There's a stone base and a stone band around their top that supports them at the top of the cavern wall and sinking down into the bones of the floor. The columns themselves are just perfectly packed, structured bone. Each of them well fitted and smooth. There are gaps enough that in some very, very small places you can even see straight through the columns. Little pinpricks of the light from the fungi on the other side illuminating this place. It is just stacked and form-fitted. A task that is even more impressive given the incredible variety of shapes and sizes of bones that have been fit together here. None of them seem to link together at all. None of them are properly connected as they should be. There is no supporting mortar or ligaments or existing structure from the skeleton that you can see. It's just near tessellated perfectly. MD, the 30, sees a bit of an exception to that.
You see gug bones approaching your face at high speed.
Those are teeth.
You don't. Well, there's a lot of teeth. There are a lot of skeletons. There's a lot of skulls inside in all this. Up ahead, on the left, the third pillar down, the second one from the end, you see an interesting configuration of bones. A set of bones that do look like they're set together. A massive reptilian skull with a split jaw mounted onto a ridged spine. Ribs, more skulls.
It's a xylobone.
Jutting out to where shoulders should be, connecting down the pelvis, the legs. It's folded up, but that is one massive contiguous skeleton, and it is connected. It's the only place you can see anywhere that bones are set together in a way that has reason.
I pointed out the tray. You think there's an actual thing that's going to attack us?
I can hit it and find out.
Nah. Go up and poke it.
What?
I mean, it's going to attack us regardless, unless you want easy to throw
I
something
can
at
reach it from
What?
where I currently am.
Maybe an attack roll.
Oh.
Just
Oh.
thrust out.
No.
Hit the bones real hard.
What could go wrong?
31.
31. Okay. What kind of damage do these days? Give me some.
Piercing, raising, magical.
Roll me damage.
Collapse the hallway right now.
You are attacking a supporting pillar. Though.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
not going to stop
There's
me.
7 more.
That's a load buried.
I
15
don't like this plan.
plus raising if applicable.
You just, for safety, while everyone's kind of behind you, extend out at about as far as you can effectively reach and jam your spear into the center of this pile, this figure, whatever it is. Your spear strikes and scatters across one of the massive, wide plates across the shoulder of this thing, sending some cracks across it, but not much. The bones under your feet are being crushed to dust by your very footsteps. But this sends your spear askew. It does some damage, but not 15. And immediately, almost reactively, you see the thing start to unfurl.
No.
If it were any other situation, it would almost look comical. The amalgamation of oversized, elaborate skulls, massive racks of teeth extending from the end of both arms, where in lieu of hands there are 2 more giant, biting maws like dinosaurs. This plated shoulder, the ridge top of the skull of something looking like a triceratops, a massive skeletal construct starts to unfold itself from the pillar.
I feel like this has been foreshadowed. I feel like you mentioned this before. Like, out of the game.
I feel like you've shown this.
Someone's shown this in the Discord.
I believe this art has probably been shown in Discord.
Yeah.
Because it is some of the craziest art puzzles made
love
for a
it.
second
Whoa.
edition creature. The fossil boy here is a very unique looking individual. He got T-Rexes for hands.
Oh my
He's got
gosh.
entire Triceratops skulls
Oh
instead
my
of
gosh.
pauldrons. It is a giant bone dino warrior. And when we return next week, we
Oh.
are definitely rolling some initiative.
We have enough time to fight him.
We do not.
Y'all got dinner plans? So you
Absolutely.
did.
You got some free damage on the board here. We've got a little bit of
Does it
upfront
take raising?
extra credit. It is,
Is it a construct?
what does raising do?
Raising is extra damage to constructs
Yeah, so
and
it absolutely
structures.
takes raising. What's the bonus?
I have to look at the exact number. I believe it's 2 per
I was gonna-
weapon damage die.
2 per weapon damage die, so 4?
I don't have it written down.
But you got some extra damage out there. When we come back next week, if you want to see the Strange Aeons party fight a dinosaur Gundam, that's
Yeah.
Shields, animated objects, structures, or vehicles with a raising weapon. It does an additional amount of damage equal to double weapon damage dice. So it
not
would take,
technically any of those, but I would say it applies. It is basically an animated object. It is
so it takes 4.
It is a full construct. I'll give you the extra 4 damage on that for sure. I'll
Yeah,
write it down
look,
right here. So I
your
remember for
spear's
next
coming
week.
Oh, we got
handy.
even more on the board
it's here to
now.
break
We've got
objects.
a horror campaign.
Now
but
he's
the-
basically dead.
The adventures we go on in the Dreamlands, I really like Book 3.
This
Every
is so
single
fun.
one of these dream quests is crazy.
Dream Quest.
Quests. We've had the forest, we've had the horrible gala, and
love
now
that
we
gala.
have the most direct Lovecraft reference yet, possibly.
Oh.
The
Not
Gug War.
Nyarlathotep.
Well, this entire concept of the war between like the Lenguls and the Gugs is that whole thing is a Lovecraftian thing. This entire dream sequence is actually just a very, very big direct Lovecraft reference.
It's a nod.
It's a good nod. It's a good nod
Good nod.
to some of the stuff in there. They got the Lovecraft license. They're gonna use the whole Lovecraft license, and honestly, it's one of the things I like the most about Strange Aeons. I really
Yeah.
like all the Lovecraftian stuff. That's it for us today, everyone. Again, if you want to see a dinosaur Gundam, I don't know if I can repeat that louder for those in the back. A dinosaur Gundam.
Dinosaur? That's actually a Digimon.
Yeah, wouldn't that just be a Zoid?
That is kind
That's
of it's sort of
Skullgreymon.
No, that'd be a Zoid.
That's
Dino-mon.
Skull Greymon
This
with
is a
dinosaurs.
Bionicle. I feel like
I think it's a Barbie doll.
it's Barbie doll. He's right. Yeah,
It's
Barbie
a
doll for sure.
by Dino
Is he Knuff?
He's
She tried.
I tried.
Okay, there was an attempt. I appreciate it. If you want to see that, next week. Next week. They're so rude to you.
It's so rude. No, thank you for saying that.
Next week.
Next week, Derp won't be here. Okay.
We're going to be looking for Derp's skull in the Ghoul Mausoleum. We have now twice attempted to travel to the Ghoul Necropolis and found something probably very different than what we were expecting. I don't know what you thought you were going to find when you came through here, but it probably wasn't
Ghouls.
a ghoul army waging war on Gugs.
I was expecting ghouls, so I
Well, you
was.
did get
I
ghouls.
got ghouls.
You probably thought you were going to fight the ghouls, huh? No, that's too obvious. The ghouls are friends. Really, we foreshadowed that one with Marius.
I'm already ghouled out, so like I've had enough ghoul fights.
No, ghouls can be friends.
Yeah.
Ghouls can be the fellas.
Ghouls are
Ghouls are
friends,
not
not food.
They were never food.
If you want to help support
Two
our
dogs.
show, if you like what we're doing here, want to throw us a couple of bucks, check out Patreon or check out Ko-fi. Either of those platforms for $5 a month. If you have no real preference, we get a little bit of a better share from Ko-fi than Patreon. Each of those comes directly to us, supporting our show, helping us with our endeavors, and gets you access to all of our post-show content that we make after every one of our actual play episodes. We're going to do it right now here in about probably 5 minutes, record another one of those to give out to all our fine supporters over there. If you want to just get some cool deals on some stuff and also help us out a little bit, check out Arkenforge. There's some cool map making software. They're a great virtual tabletop. They're what we use here. Check out Eldritch Foundry. They make some fantastic minis that are going to fight a dinosaur Gundam next
Bionicle.
week. Bionicle Barbie doll.
Digimon.
Or check out Norse Foundry, providers of all of the fantastic dice that we have around the table here. Code UGT Show will get you various discounts at all three of those places. Help you get some cool stuff. Help us a little bit too.
Help us get some cool stuff.
Help us get some cool stuff. We like
Yeah.
cool stuff too. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Thank you for being here. Stay safe. Stay sane.